I
Yes,
can hear a
there
bomb.
we go. There we go. Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland, a live Arsenal podcast. This is very much ad-lib at the moment. I've not written any notes, and I know the rest of the guys don't really know what's going to go on. I don't either, so it's going to be fun. So let me introduce you to my guest tonight. I haven't got an intro for him. He's fat and hairy and all of the above. It's Danny the GFP.
You know, I was thinking we've done 100 and this is podcast 198. Maybe I should just go and get all 198 intros and put them, splice them all together of just an hour of insults from you to me with love.
Yeah, I think we should do. We won't draw attention to the fact that I'm smoking. It's not real. It's synthetic. I've had a poorly back today and two very poorly legs. Isn't that right, Danny?
Oh yeah, he's smoking mine for me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's
so
working.
yeah, it is, as you'll tell. Josh, introduce yourself.
I'm Josh, and I like the Arsenal. And you're all cunts.
See, lovely stuff. David,
Josh got it in first.
David, say hello to all the lovely people listening.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Although I can't, obviously.
And then we've got Jace. Hello, Jace.
Hi,
David, say hello to all the lovely people listening.
Oh, someone hasn't got their YouTube.
I can't confirm Josh is a cunt.
Oh, that's nice.
Jace has got the hump because we in the podcast news group, people have been putting news that wasn't podcast news in there, and Jace has got all angry about it. And then, so what? When he asked people to stop doing it, what did? They all started putting in what they've done today.
The mentality of the people on this podcast. Carl, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Just simple. See, Carpenter up next, so he'll probably steal your time. Chris?
Yeah.
Belland?
Nice to see you. How you doing?
I'm all right. My name's Chris, and I'm a massive fan of David. Hello, David. It's been too long.
Thank you very much. We haven't done a show for ages, have we?
I know. I don't like any of the rest of them. I just like you. Maybe Carl sometimes, but the rest of them, no.
I love you too, Chris.
Good.
Lovely. So it's been 2 weeks since we last podded, pretty much, and not much has changed, even though we've been promised it. Jace, I'm going to go to you first, because I understand that you've got a rant that you want to get off your chest, and not just people posting what they've done in the podcast group, but it's about Jerry Payton, isn't it? Kick us off.
Jerry Payton's a massive cunt. We know this, okay? But it's just the fact of, why are we interested in Jordan Pickford when we could have Wojciech Szczesny come back from Roma, the finished article? When Woj left, you know, he was immature, he wasn't on good form, he needed a fresh to get himself right. He's got himself right. He's been outstanding in Italy. And we're going to sell him to Juventus for 14, 15 million quid? It's bonkers. You know, I mean, okay, this is all hypothetical at the moment. I know it may not happen, and I pray to God it doesn't. But if we're going to spend 20 to 30 million quid on a young up-and-coming keeper who's going to need work, and we're going to sell the finished article to Juventus, well, fuck me. We're in exactly the same position we were last season and 2 years ago, and this is not fucking good enough. And Arsene Wenger needs to go. Because it's not on. It's just not on anymore. I've had enough of dog shit transfer windows where we fuck it up time and time and time again. Enough is enough. And although Martinez is a good prospect, we've got Wojciech Szczesny. He's under contract to the club. It's fucking nuts.
I think there's plenty that would agree with you. David, I'll come to you next. It seems to be a reoccurring problem at Arsenal that we never seem to get the best deal for players when we sign them, yet when we sell them, we seem to let them go for peanuts. What do you think is the actual issue here?
I think that's a relatively recent thing. If you think of what happened in that first decade when we got remarkably good money for the likes of Overmars and Petit when they went to Barca, we got ridiculous money for Anelka to Real Madrid and bought training ground with it. But yes, I think in recent years it's been down to the fact it's been a combination of the players have wanted to go, and the players also have only had a year left on their contract, and that naturally drags the value down, or you would think it would drag the value down. That sort of money that they're talking about for Pickford absolutely baffles me. And you're right, if you compare 30 million for him to us perhaps asking 14 for Chesney, there's no rhyme or reason to it whatsoever.
No. And Carl, we'll go to you next. There's a lot of talk before Arsene signed his deal that if he did sign, there would be big changes. Is it today or the last couple of days we've seen Jerry Payton sign a new deal? We've seen many things in John Cross's book. It said how he was a bit of a joke and that they called him the head. Where do you think we're going to see these changes? And if not in the coaching staff, you know, what else could be changed?
I don't think we are going to see any changes. I think that was said to just try and appease the fans. I think they knew that Arsene Wenger signing, it was going to please some fans and not please the rest. And I think what they did was this whole thing of catalyst for change, it was all talk, because at present, what has changed? Ivan Gazziga's come out and said, oh, yes, things are going to change. But at the moment, we are status quo. Nothing at all is changing. Yes, it's very early in the season and there is still time for things to change. But at present, you would have thought that they would come in with some quick fire changes just to not appease the fans, because I don't think we're there to be appeased, but to show fans some faith or at least commitment. Because if you're thinking right now, nothing's changed from last season, absolutely nothing. So the way we're heading for 6th place again, because nothing has changed. You know, there was talk of director of football, and apparently reports come out today that that's not going to happen. The coaching staff is exactly the same as it is. So unfortunately, I'm kind of with Jason. Like, I was on the bandwagon of, you know what, he's staying, you kind of got to support him. And I still will support him, but I'm not happy that he's staying, and he's got to do some major changes, whether that's signing players or bringing in new coaching staff or just the setup of the club. Something has got to change.
And Josh, we'll go to you next. Now you've heard everything. Were you in or out before this? And were you swayed by the thought of change, thinking maybe if he did stay that things would change? And now where'd you sit on the whole debate?
Yeah, it got to a point, I think it was probably Crystal Palace away, when it got to officially, Wenger probably needs to see his time out at the club. But now that we've had the FA Cup come through, obviously that doesn't salvage everything that's happened across this season and across his tenure. But certainly I will still get back behind him. And I think if he does what we'd expect Ivan has said to do, completely change the back room, bring in additional support around him to help us with the transition, then I'll be happy to support everything he does. I'm more of a Ivan in rather than a Wenger in now, because I think that what he's doing, he's given the freedom.
Josh, can I challenge you there? Name me 3 things Ivan Gazidis has achieved this club in the 9 years he's been here. Name me 3 things he has done which is worthy of being chief executive of this club.
So I don't think he's had the power to do everything because of the fact that Arsene's been at the club and he's blocking a lot of things. So you're basically
telling me he's unable to influence Arsene Wenger or Stan Kroenke. So the chief executive of Arsenal Football Club is unable to influence the manager or the owner.
I would say the owner isn't giving him the free rein, which is what Ivan came out and said, last couple of months, that he's been given the ability to make changes and they want to, what was the words he used? Say thingy for change, catalyst for change. And I think from that point onwards, we now start to judge him. We judge Ivan from this, where he, in theory, has been given power.
Ivan Gazidis. Sorry, Josh. Ivan Gazidis has been at the Arsenal for 9 years. He's achieved nothing. Okay, he's a good steward of the club, as in just keeping it rolling along. He's achieved absolutely nothing. Influence the manager. He can't influence the owner. So he's not a very good chief executive, is he? So why should he keep his job?
I think nothing is a very, very blanket term for what he's done. There's obviously things behind the scenes
Maybe
that
three things.
he's
Maybe
had to
three
build up.
things.
Well, I'm not
Three
going to see
things.
those. It's probably, I would say, the commercial revenue that is growing. We may not have got the best deals, but we've been
And
hamstrung
it's
at that
been
point.
dwarfed by Man United. It's been dwarfed by Chelsea. It's been dwarfed by Man City.
But the success that they've had, so they've got better contracts. In that 10-year tenure, we haven't won the league. We have won 3 FA Cups in that time. Is that enough to go out and try and leverage deals? The values
Sixth
that
biggest
Chelsea,
club on the planet. I'd have thought it would be.
you'd think so,
The sixth
but
biggest
people
club
want
on the
to see
planet.
success. that
I'd
we've
have thought
seen.
he would have been able to grow that commercial revenue.
It has grown, just not as high as I
numbers.
think that we'd expect.
It hasn't grown, in terms against Man United. They've flown up. They continue to fly up, and we're the 6th biggest club on the planet. Too many excuses for Arsene Wenger. Too many excuses for having to see this.
Very interesting,
Yeah, I
Chris.
think- yeah.
Oh, no, go on, Josh. You carry on.
Yeah, I think just kind of compare us to Man United is a complete fuss. We're nowhere near them in terms of commercial power. Ever since, before we moved to the Emirates, we still couldn't compete with them on that because of the success they had on the field. And that's where we've been
But we're not even
hamstrung
trying.
at that point. But
We're not even making the effort.
I don't know what we can see from behind the scenes.
Their
bring
commercial
that through.
revenue team, they have 100 of the best people in London. The best people in London looking for commercial revenue. What do we have? Nothing like that. And employing the people to bring the revenue in. So don't tell me that we are making an effort. I'm sorry, there's no evidence to show that we are. No, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Well, you were
Chris,
intending to ask him a question, and when he goes to answer the question, you were giving him another question to answer without letting him answer the first one. But that was
This is a baptism of fire for
I
my
felt a bit
debut.
sorry
on the
for Josh.
Yeah, we do. Go on, Gib.
Yes.
That's all right.
Hello to Mario Rivas. He says, ABW, what's good, boys? I've just put in the chat group there, I am Matthew Carr. Please ask some questions. I will be coming to you guys for some questions later in the show. I just wanted to get the show started. Chris, will come to you next. Obviously, you've heard the debates there by Jason and Josh. Where do you sit on it?
Well, I try not to sit on it because that's dirty. I suppose I'm halfway between the two. I'm probably the worst person to ask because I tend not to really give too much of a stuff about what goes on behind the scenes, and I know that's a bit of a fence-sitting angle, but I really don't. I mean, coming from the guy who doesn't vote either, so I had to sit and listen to all the politics talk last week, and I see that same thing from the football club perspective. I don't support the revenue. I don't support the net spend, bruv. I just support the team that's on and the people that are putting it there. I do understand Jace's frustration. I think some of the way we do some of our business is a little bit questionable. And chat room's already going for it. The way I look at it is those decisions are always going to be made by people that are in power. As Jay said, I think Arsene has got too much power. I'm not blind enough to not see that. But at the same time, I do think Ivan Gazidis has done some very good things. Has he been slightly left behind by other clubs in his tenure? Probably. Has he had the full amount of control that a CEO should have? Arguably not, and that falls on him because he should have that control. He should be telling Arsene Wenger, not the other way around. But I think the one thing that I do slightly disagree with what Jason said, I do side with Josh slightly here. The whole catalyst for change thing. I was surprised as anyone when he said about the backroom staff getting new deals. But I think the catalyst for change is more about the personnel in the playing staff this summer than anything else. I do think we might add 1 or 2 backroom staff over the summer, but I think that catalyst for change is more about when you see the sort of the Mbappe bids, etc. I think that's what the catalyst for change is. It's the idea that actually let's stop making excuses. We are Arsenal. We can go after the big fish. We might not get them, but we're in that market or we're in that ballpark. Whereas for the last 10 years, we've sat on the edge of things, said, go on then, all these other big clubs, you do your business and we'll catch up in the end. Maybe maybe we shall see. But maybe this is a summer where we actually go and get our deals done and compete with the big boys. Hopefully, anyway. But as for all the politics, I'll let the people who are paid the bucks deal with that. It doesn't really interest me, to be honest.
Oh, well, we'll stick with you then, and we'll stick with something that does interest you, Chris. Have you heard of anything up and coming on the table, maybe about to happen? And what makes you believe that this is actually the summer that we have a complete shake-up of the playing staff?
Blind faith for the optimist. No,
well, we have
think
that every summer, don't we?
Well, yeah, I do, but yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. It is like the rotating carousel as an Arsenal fan, isn't it? You get excited only to have your dreams blown out into space. But no, I do believe. You know, I've heard enough things to suggest that we're trying to get deals done. I'm sure people will be keen to press Mr. Jeff on certain things later on. But I've heard enough to suggest we're in the market for some decent players. Obviously, three of them. Well. Three of them play in France, 2 happen to be French, so obviously I'm quite across that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any reason to believe otherwise. I do think we're going to have to get a lot of players out, which might be a slight issue. I'm still worried about the Alexis situation. I think Mesut will stay. That seems pretty obvious at the moment. Don't think anybody else is interested. But yeah, it's probably blind faith, Gim, to be honest. But there's enough in the pipeline to make me think that we are going to try at the very least to get stuff done. Whether everyone will be happy at the end of the summer.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. Okay, then. Well, let's do some quick fire questions. Danny, I'll come to you last to wrap this up. But we'll just ask a couple of questions that have come in. David, Chambers or Gabriel?
Chambers.
Lovely stuff. So Dr. Gray asked, where's Chubby Jason? I can only presume he means Jason. Jace?
Right. Where's who?
Lovely. Chubby Jason. Where's Chubby Jason?
Cheeky.
Mario Rivas asked, Diego Costa, yes or no, John?
Yeah, he's a complete bastard. Have him.
Lovely stuff. I should also say hello to John as well. You joined us, and who else is that there? I see it's Ellis.
Hello.
Hello, Ellis.
Hello. You're right.
Oh, everyone's in tonight. We're having a whale of a time. Ellis, we'll stick with you now. You've heard the arguments on Arsenal changing, and it doesn't look like we are. What's your thoughts on that? Are you frustrated that we've been promised something yes again, and it doesn't seem like we followed through?
Yeah. Frustration is probably the perfect word to describe it, really. It's the same old sort of stuff every year with regards to... And you would have thought after, like what Josh mentioned, Ivan Gazidis saying that this season represented a catalyst for change. And he said that before the FA Cup win, fair enough. But I don't think that does paper up the cracks of the league form where we finished overall in the league. And to say like there needs to be change and this was a catalyst for change after this season, and then to seemingly hire all the backroom staff back on, and it doesn't seem like there's much actual change going on behind the scenes. But it's hard to tell really. But I guess the proof will be in the pudding of the summer and how we perform. Maybe he meant in terms of change that we're, like Chris said, we're going to be more aggressive in the transfer market and probably get the players we need straight away and make sure we put down the money that's required for these top players. But we can't really see that until the start of the season, and if we've got any new players there. Like personally myself, the Mbappe rumours, I'm a bit pessimistic about it. I don't know if someone like the stature of our club, the amount of money we've got, can compete with the likes of Real Madrid and some of the other guys who've got a lot more money and can offer Champions League football to him. It might be quite difficult, and I don't want it to be a similar sort of summer transfer window when someone put out something funny about the Higuain situation, how he spent all summer trying to learn how to say his name, and then we ended up with Sonogo. So I hope it's not a season or a summer transfer window where we end up chasing someone that's not really going to come, it's not going to happen, and end up sort of scrambling around on deadline day for a strike that we've been desperately trying to get for God knows how many years. So yes, it's frustrated. I am frustrated, I'm going to say that, yeah. But I think I want to try and remain as positive as I can until it gets to the start of the new season. If there's no change there, then it might just all boil over, really.
I had a very chilling thought then that we were going to sign that Nigerian kid. Danny, I bet you were scared, weren't you? Having to pronounce that. How much wrong could you have done with that name?
I'll just use his initials. We ain't going to sign him though because the clubs are fucking useless. We don't need another Sano goal. Someone who scored a few shit goals against shit teams when the league split into two, and he just it's like splitting the Premier League into two halves. When he scored all of his goals, I think he scored 11 in 10. It was like playing Sunderland and Hull and Aston Villa every week. It's
Danny.
pathetic. Don't you start? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, because Thierry Henry was really ripping up for Juventus, wasn't he, when we signed him?
There's a big difference between playing in the Italian league and playing in the Belgian league. Belgian league is shit.
It's not. Oh,
It's
God.
a bloody feeder league.
I'm going to mute. I'll get out. I'll get angry.
No, Chris, go on. No, I demand you unmute yourself.
It's such a fucking lazy argument. I hear this. So I've had people on Twitter today. Sorry, I'm going to drop another C-bomb. Absolute cunts on Twitter today telling me that, there's no point signing Lacazette because he's shit because he plays in a shit league. Yeah, we've all heard the jokes. Feed league. Yeah, it's dog shit. It's still professional fucking football. If you succeed and you play at a high level, you have to be decent.
Yaya Sanogo was a professional footballer as well, Chris. So
yeah, but he hardly played any top.
Shots fired.
He also played in League Deux, John, and you damn well know it. Now back in your box.
That's two for our
Hey, Bobby Pires came from League One.
Yeah, he did. Exactly. Thank you, Jace. The voice of reason. Fucking hell. What's going on?
What about the Belgian league? Lacazette would be a fantastic signing.
Oh, yeah, because so Michy Batshuayi's shit, was he? Because when he went to Marseille, he didn't have a good time at Marseille because he's Belgian. Hang on. What nationality is your beloved Romelu Lukaku again? Oh, yes, he's Belgian.
Whatever nationality he wants to be because he is awesome. And when he was playing Belgium, he was dog shit.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So he was dog shit in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come to the Premier League and now he's world class. So you just shut your argument a bit.
Peptides. I'm telling you, Carpenter Pirate Boy, that if we sign this fucking no mark from the Belgian 9th division, he will do nothing.
It's not the 9th division, it's the top division.
Well,
what's his name, Chris?
Eden Hazard came from Belgium.
The top division.
Yeah, Eden Hazard came from Belgium.
So unorganised.
He
It's
went
unbelievable.
He did, yeah.
Someone been murdered.
Company?
Yeah, sorry, it's a puppy. I'm going to have to go.
Excellent.
Come on, Danny, carry on.
Okay,
Right.
Danny.
Yes.
Can you say his name, Danny?
Yes, I can.
We're all waiting.
Was I mute? I can't say it again. Sorry, I must have muted myself.
Dave, what do you think of that? What do you think of that signing? Is it one for the future? What do you think? Come on, the voice of reason.
Jace, I don't know him from Adam, and you know I don't. I haven't got a clue. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. I understand West Ham are likely to sign him.
Well,
But for me, it's not someone that we need at the moment. We need basically first team players. Like, yes, I understand buying for the future, and that's all well and good. I get that we need to do that, but right now, our main priority is first team players that can come in and win us the league. That's what we want. I'm not saying that this guy is not going to win us the league, but it's highly unlikely that buying him is going to catapult us to the 5 places up the league. That's not going to happen.
I agree with you there, Carl. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's all right if you sign a player like that, as long as you also make the signing that you need to make. You need to buy the big name signing, and then by all means pad out with the younger signings. I agree with that. Yeah.
We're about to see if we can get one more person in the group here. I didn't even remember we've got 9 at the moment.
We've got an extra puppy.
Just seeing if we can get
We've got an extra
Steve
puppy on the screen.
Okay, Josh. Oh, sorry, I was just going to ask Josh. Josh, what do you think of the Onyekuru signing? Do you think that's going to help the development 3 or 4 years down the line?
We don't need a project at the moment. We've got enough. I think what we need at the moment is an out-and-out goal scorer. We've got the likes of Asano, we've got Iwobi, we've got Willock, who all play in that same kind of position. So I'm not really sure why we'd need to bring in yet another project where we've got 3 or 4 already. What we really need is to be spending that money on a out-and-out goal scorer that can supplement Giroud when he's not scoring. Because on his day, we've seen Giroud can fire us towards a title, but we need someone to supplement for when he's not scoring.
But there's a good argument Fife makes, okay, where what Chelsea do, they stockpile players, they loan them out, and then they make money selling them on 2 or 3 seasons down the line. Now, that's going to add to your commercial revenue along the way. So these players, as long as you're making money on them, here, a couple of million there, 2 or 3 years down the line, we might unearth a gem, and we're making money bill because they're loaned out. It's a strange one, isn't it?
You're breaking up a little bit. But on that point, Chelsea last season loaned out over 40 players, and those 40 players cost Chelsea £110 million. And they bought all of them and loaned them all out. You look at Thorgan Hazard. He's tell them about Thorgan, John, about your team.
Eden Hazard.
They actually bought
he was very good for my Gladbach, but he's a decent player. He's not amazing. I'm a bit confused as to why he's going and what the deal is. The point that Jace is making, I get it. I don't have a problem with signing that kid from Belgium. The problem is when Chelsea sign a player like that, he gets loaned out for 2-3 years and then they sell him for a profit. We sign that kid, he goes into our first team. I don't have a problem if you sign him, but you actually buy a player who's going to go into the squad and improve it. He's not going to do that. That signing doesn't improve our squad. I know what Chris says about, you can't say a player's not good enough because he plays in this league or whatever. But like Carl said, I want people who are going to come in and improve the squad and actually help us push for the title or give us a chance to win the Europa League or something. And he ain't going to do that. So...
And how much is he? About 8 million quid. Sanogo, we got him on a free, but we had to pay compensation of, I think, 320 grand.
As much as I take the piss out of the Sanogo thing, it was a couple $100,000. It was a punt, didn't work out. He did his little bit in the FA Cup, which, to be fair, he came on, did that. So that's all fine. But you can't be chucking. We aren't in the position where we can go spend 8, 9, 10 million on a player and loan him out for 3 years the way Chelsea do, and try and make money on him. He'd get chucked into the first team, which just doesn't help us at all.
Do we not think that there's a case for it all being a little bit underwhelming? Like, everybody does it on silly season, don't we? We all log onto Twitter to see who the latest shit ITK is. Chris, I know you're going for that.
Sorry about that. I knew that was coming. You're such a cunt.
I couldn't help myself. I apologise. But anyway, no, we all log onto Twitter. We all have the Court Offside app. We all go onto Sky to see who the top 10 transfers are of that week.
No, I don't.
If you're like me,
I don't do any of that.
Do you not?
No,
because you don't get up until fucking 3 o'clock.
It's all clickbait bullshit. I'd say ignore the entire lot. I just look whatever Chris.
And he's still pressing the teletext button on his
remote. Whatever Chris. Whatever Chris
302. Page 302. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Chris tweets it, I know it's true, and then I go in the Fannies group and just double check that Dom confirms it, and then we know we're all good. Again, while we're here, at what point should we do the awards? Because we've got 10 of us here, which is a bloody miracle. I always thought the limit you could have here was 7. Should we do the awards?
I say keep adding them. That's it. I say keep adding them. Just keep adding them. Eventually, it will go kaput, and then everybody will know we've added too many. If that happens, stick with us. We'll be back. We'll just have to bin someone.
I think it's working fine. Yeah, so you let me know at what point you want to do the awards, because at the moment I'm waiting for some more votes so that I don't win it. Because just like last year, it's me and Jeff fighting for the top.
Okay, so I'll tell you what then, because we're doing this to timescale and people are watching this live, we will do the awards at 8 o'clock.
All right, if I go and put the awards link in the chat, in the window for the listeners, there you go. There's the awards. Yeah. Go and vote on it. Don't vote for me to win because it looked like corruption. The only person who could beat me is Jeff. So there you go.
I would quite happily take your votes, and I am going with this campaign slogan of "A vote for Gimli is a vote for freedom." Remember.
Well, we need strength.
Strong and stable.
Strength in number.
Yes.
We'll give you strong and stable alcohol.
Firm and stable.
Yeah.
Jason, that sounds like your sex
how
life,
many
mate.
people here?
How
many people here are going to sign Mbappe?
No, never going to happen.
How many?
What you should do, Jace? If everyone thinks we're going to sign Mbappe, put your hand up.
But that's. I know what Chase is doing here.
Oh, here he goes! Here he goes!
It's a silly question, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a silly
No,
question.
no, it's not.
Why?
If you actually put a bid in, okay, how many people think that Ivan, Dick Law, and Arsene Wenger can get that signing over the line?
Dick Law's got to learn how to catch a plane on time first.
To be perfectly honest with you, it's not going to come down to them. It's going to come down to the player. It's not going to come.
Yeah, but my point is, if they, the Arsene Wenger of old would have gone out and got his man. Moment every season. That's all we hear. To be fair, last season was a good transfer window. Season before was the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever seen. It was an embarrassment to the club. Peter Cech, fuck's sakes, just Peter Cech, unbelievable. The season for that was a decent transfer window, but I don't think he's got the wherewithal on anymore. We're talking about Lacazette again. He had the chance last season. He dithered. He blew his pooch in it. Where is the evidence to say that Arsene Wenger, Ivan Gazidis and Dick Law can get a signing like Kylian Mbappe over the line? Because there's none.
Oh, great.
Your garden needs cutting, Jace.
It does actually, pal.
Do you not think it's all...
Now that Steve's here, ask Steve a question because everyone else has had one.
Okay, Steve, do you not think it's all a bit smoke and mirrors with Mbappe? Do you think that bid is being made so public now that it's a case of, oh, look, we did try for him. I mean, we've seen Arsenal in other transfer windows, and it's a case of, oh, it's a media lockdown. They're not telling anyone what's going in or who's going out. But they're very upfront about this Mbappe. Do you think it's very rubbing bellies kind of thing to try and make us, the fans, believe that they're trying?
Steve's making more sense than he ever has.
If you're speaking to you, we can't hear you.
He's just done some hand signs. Well, that question still stands. I know he did hear it. So when he gets his sound back, we'll get him to answer it. But until then, Chris, who's joining us?
Just drop that casually. I don't know, Kim. I don't know. As I said earlier, I mean, you've got to chuck some names out there. Tolisso? No, he's off to Bayern Munich by the looks of it.
What about Douay?
He's in. Josh, he's always there. Ellis, sorry.
Marco Reus.
That long-necked bastard can fuck off with his sore arse or whatever he's got.
All I will say, Kim, is that...
Oh, here we go. All I will say, give him with one hand, take him with another.
All I will say is there's a lot of people, as you say, it's silly season. A lot of people get fed a lot of different information. I've got a few people that I follow that John knows well, and I think David knows well, that are very, very well informed when it comes to French football. And the only things that I tweet about are things I hear. It doesn't mean they're going to happen. It doesn't mean we're presenting a player tomorrow. It doesn't mean any of that. I just tweet what I hear. And the stuff about the Mbappe...
Yeah, you nearly said what we've been saying.
Yeah. The stuff I hear, I like to share it. It's not, it's not ITK stuff. I like to have conversations with people that are sensible. Sadly, there's not many left. But
and just one final question, just to cut you off there, Chris. It's been said that obviously it's been noted about the ITK. People just come to me asking if you were under the same umbrella as AFC Camden or, in fact, Wayne Gooney.
No, I'm more of an IndyCarlia man myself. I like a bit.
I had him down as a Dial Square. Dial Square.
Oh no!
Is he still alive?
That's too far, Jace. You gone too far there. Too far.
My missus is a doctor, you know.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm off to the airport.
Is Dial Square still alive? I hope not.
But does everyone think that nothing's going to happen until the Sanchez situation gets sorted? That's got to be the #1 priority this season. Sort out Sanchez, and then from there you can go on. Then you'll know what you need to add or take away from the squad.
Hasn't Sanchez allegedly said that he will sign if the club promise to make the 3 big signings? So doesn't that mean we get the usual summer where we say we're going to make 3 big signings? Arson actually means that Sanchez re-signing is one of them, but hasn't told Sanchez that. We get to the end of the summer, Sanchez goes, oh, you haven't signed those players, I'm going to leave. And then we're left with a last minute, 24-hour dash in the window to get things done.
I think John summed it up perfectly. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night. We've had a wonderful season.
That's it. It's perfect.
Go on, Danny.
You've really achieved something tonight.
What are you saying, David?
Carrot. Boys have achieved something tonight. I've been in a real high for the last 2.5 weeks. I'm still bathing in the glory that day at Wembley, and you've got me looking for a bloody tourniquet for my neck here.
What definitely will help that situation. Danny, what do you think is going to happen this summer?
We're going to sign everyone. Everyone.
God.
It's going to be like me playing FIFA 17 when you go and buy stuff. I've got nearly 700 players in my FIFA 17 at the moment. That's the way we should run the club. Buy everyone. Then no one else can have a players, and then we can just win everything.
And then
Done.
we would be Chelsea, and nobody wants to be Chelsea.
On a
Even
positive
Chelsea.
note, we have actually signed someone
Careful.
already.
Oh, what's his name?
Go on, say it, Danny.
Go on, Danny. What's his name, Danny?
CEO. He likes to be known as CEO. SEO. Just
What's his
like
surname?
James. James in New York, Boston.
Oh dear.
That's his
Wow.
name. CEO. That's what I'm going to call him. As either that or his initials. It'll be one or the other.
Say it,
We've got a question
Kolasinac,
for-
Danny. Say it together.
No,
Mm,
can't.
no.
I might accidentally mute myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've got rid of a few players as well.
Well,
What?
one.
Yeah, I've got a tooth missing. I've got a new filling though. That was lovely. He's a lovely man, my new dentist. He's Australian. I asked if he knew Dom. He said no. I'm not sure if he was lying or that maybe Dom's threatened him. That Dom has been around. Yeah, just looking at the transfers already. We've got rid of Stefan O'Connor, to be sure, the Irish legend. He's been released. Christoph da Gracia. Oh, fucking hell, glad he's gone. He's Swedish defender. Kostas Pilias, he's gone. No Greek jokes for all Turkish jokes people. He's an 18-year-old defender. And Yaya Sano Goals has gone. And we brought in one.
What about
There
that
you go.
defender, Danny? The one that begins with a pla. What's his
Pilias.
name? No.
Kostas.
Oh, he's Pleguezuelo, or what's his name?
Oh, Pleggy.
Yeah,
Has he been let go? I've not looked at the latest list in the last day or so, but the official Premier League release list doesn't come out till the 1st of July, I think. And then that'll have the all the ones that are on there that will now fuck off and be bin men, which is what they should have been.
I'll tell
Anyway.
you, one thing I did want to know, or your opinions, boys. The big news this week: Serge Gnabry signing for Bayern. David, what do you make of that one? I mean, he didn't even get any games at West Brom, did he? And then 2 years later, he's lining up for Bayern. Why the hell did we sign? Or why the hell did we sell him?
Go basically, and I'm getting a bit fed up of listening to people saying, why did we sell it? Why did we get rid of him? We got rid of him because he wouldn't sign a new deal.
Thank
So
you.
he kind of he wanted to go. He went, as though Bayern Munich engineered the situation, and they allowed him to play a year in Germany first before they completed the sign. He may have been outsmarted a little bit, but at the end of the day, the boy didn't think he was. If he wasn't going to play at West Brom, fair bet he wasn't going to play here.
No. Is there anybody else or anyone here that thinks that we should have signed him, or he was good enough to have a run in the team?
But that's not what he wanted.
Yeah. You know,
He was good enough.
everybody's slagging the club off for this. This isn't the club's fault. You know, he engineered the move along with Bayern. There's nothing he can do about that. You know, I don't mind giving Arsene Wenger and Ivan Gazidis a stick, but you know, you can't use this as a stick to beat them with because he engineered the move. If you know, and what did he do wrong at WBA, by the way? Because Pulis, when he was at Palace, was using wingers really effectively. So if maybe he'd shown something there, he'd have played more often. You know,
He was overweight.
can't
wasn't he, James?
always be in the club.
He was
And
overweight.
he was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah.
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 He was also-
you know,
Sorry, he was also too selfish on the ball. That's what the West Brom coaches said. That
It was-
he didn't give it enough.
It was a poor move for him as well. I think. I mean, looking back, it was a poor choice of club. I mean, he didn't need toughening up. He needed games, and he needed a side that would play to exactly what his skills are, which is exactly what he got at Werder Bremen. And it's not really a big surprise that now he's come up. But everything David said is absolutely spot on. The amount of people, who've taken to various forms of media this week to, lambast the club, and it's just ridiculous. If a player, Jace, you've said it best a number of times, if a player doesn't want to be at the club, fuck off. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how good you are, just go. If you don't want to be there, go. And fair play to him. He doesn't owe Arsenal anything now. I mean, Arsene Wenger tried everything to keep him. and it happens. So that's that. That's life.
Yes, that is
Norma
that.
makes a really good point in the chat, though, that you look at other clubs, and if they know a player's going to go, they make sure they sign a new deal when they're not only on a year left or whatever, so they can get maximum value for them. And we haven't done that. We haven't done anything.
He wouldn't sign it.
Yeah, but we could have done a deal with Bremen where we get a sell-on fee if he goes to a bigger club or hits a certain number of goals, that kind of thing.
John, the bigger issue coming from Gnabry moving last season is the fact we have so many players this season with a year left on their contract. Mesut, Sanchez, Jack.
That's what I mean. It all ties into that as well.
It's the knock-on effect. Yeah, where they haven't learned from that, and that's the worrying part, because you could just have offered them a quick extension, not a problem. But no, we haven't done any of that, have we?
Try speaking, Steve. No. I don't know
He's
what it is.
sounding better than ever.
He had this problem last time as well, didn't he? He had to unplug it.
Yeah.
So
Right,
he's taking
Danny,
it off and he's going to throw it.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. So if you would please, let's have some ABW awards for the season.
Rightio.
Cue the music.
Refresh the page. Oh God, that's not a good one. Okay, so we have the Arsenal Player of the Year. Everyone was allowed to pick 3 players. Who do you reckon won?
Sanchez.
Alexis.
Yeah, Sanchez won it with 34% of the votes, with 485 votes. Second place was the Ox with 194 votes, and third place was Cos with 135 votes. Who's making noises?
Sorry, that was me. Cat's looking out the window.
Okay. Yeah, mine are as well. They're obsessed. Lily will sit at the window all day looking out of it.
Yeah, mine jump out of them.
Oh, I'm okay. I live in a bungalow. They're going to be fine.
I'm not.
Fourth place was Nacho Monreal. Fifth place was Rob Holding. Sixth place was Mesut Ozil. And seventh was Granit Xhaka. And even though Per only played 1.2 games, he come the next place.
Danny, how many votes did
John.
Coquelin get?
Hold on. Wait for it. He got 1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know who put that vote in. I can't.
Was that from Wales? That vote?
No, I think it's
I can
somewhere,
check it. It's from
somewhere down here. Somewhere.
Yeah.
It might have been.
And the players that got none was Mohamed El Neni got 0, and Jeff got 0. I think the Jeff has outdone himself, though he should have got less than 0 because he was shit. There was a total of 563 voters. So that's what, like 1,600 votes. Game of the season, everyone was allowed to pick 1. It was the FA Cup final with 437 votes, 80%. And second place was our thrashing of Chelsea. We beat them 3-0 with 65 votes. And then third was the FA Cup semi-final win over Man City with 12 votes. And Viking 0, Arsenal 8 got 7 votes. That's very surprising.
I wonder where they came from.
One of them was me. I'm not going to lie. Right, so Arsenal goal of the season. This one was just between 2. My one, I picked Aaron Ramsey. I thought that goal was magnificent, and it won as the FA Cup. But no, it was Olivier Giroud with was it a scorpion kick? Is that what we call it? Or bicycle kick?
Oh, that goal shouldn't have even been in there for his stupid fucking celebration the week after that.
No, here he is. John McCornflake's piss. Here he is.
Best goal of the season is Ramsey's in the cup final. It's the happiest bit of the season. How is that not the best goal?
Yeah, well, only 30 people agreed with us, John. 248 went for Giroud.
You're all idiots.
Mesut Ozil via pub team got 229 votes. And I think Cos is against Burnley got none. And Ramsey's against Everton got none.
Shocking. That goal was brilliant.
Did you? Well, you didn't vote. Oh, you did. You got 2 votes for Cos. 0%. Okay, this one. Oh, here we go. 3. It looks like 3 years in a row. This could be it. Will Rami Shami Raban? Oh, fuck it. Best podcast, ex-pro celebrity guest. We've had to put ex-pros and celebrities in together because if we have ex-pros and celebrities, there's just one in each. Because Gimli hasn't been doing his job, and we've only had 2 all year. One of which bloody Jeff pulled out the hat and got for us. So Rami Shaban has won it now 3 years in a row, back to back.
I did get him. I was a man that got Rami Shaban, and in all fairness, he is a fucking lovely bloke.
He is, and he's good all the time. And he 249 votes, 64%. And Luke Kempner, who is on Big Brother, he'll be on there soon doing the impressions. He got 140 votes. He was very good too. Now this one was a little bit more contested. Best podcast journalist. We have first place, Arsblog. I think he's won it every single year that he's been on it. Second place, very close, was Chaz Nuki Burden, or Chaz Nuki Brown, as I like to call him, with 77 votes. But Sophie had 76. Dear, oh dear. Dave Seeger, and then Alex Flynn, then Ross Bramble, and then Glenn O'Glazer. Oh, what do you... Dora, stop being a tit. Oh, they're trying to get to the cat food in the box. We're building up to it. Right, best podcast guest of the season. Everybody was allowed to pick 3. Oh, and first place, a certain chopsy, struttering... Oh, but be careful what I say there. He sent us a message saying, "When do you want me on to collect my award?" He got quarter of the votes with 164. Clive only was on once ever, and he got 125 votes. And Mike from Gooners in the USA. Well, Mike does work in technology, so he's obviously figured out how to rig this because he got 100 votes. There's not 100 people that remember him. Now, that's actually...
how harsh is that? That's really harsh.
Well harsh.
Maybe he got every single one of his listeners to vote 50
Danny,
times.
You horrible...
You are such a twat.
You horrible
Danny,
fat twat.
Danny, he came to a game in, I think it was April, and hundreds of people met him at various hostelries in town.
It wasn't. It's because both of his listeners voted for him 50 times each. He's obviously figured out how to rig it. So that does mean that Mike's going to have to come on, and we're going to get Andy to come on as well next season. Fourth place was Stefan Selby. Now Steph does know how to rig stuff, and he only rigged it a little bit to get 35 votes.
Okay, that's another one. You fucking offended there. Oh, he's not many people like him, but he knows a bit about technology, so it's blatantly rigged that he got more than 10 votes.
All I'm going to say is that either Mike or Stefan were walking around with their mobiles, finding hotspots, logging in, voting, logging out, going to the next McDonald's. Actually, Mike probably did that and just got stuck in the same McDonald's all day.
I bet you fucking Davies has been doing that round Cardiff all day, like pissing Pokemon Go, trying to pick up Wi-Fi spots.
Isn't hotspots where John gets women?
I think technically
No, that's Tim
that could be right. Fourth place, 1, 2,
That's only after he rolled her in flour.
Fifth, shut your noise. Fifth place was David O'Leary, not the player, with 25 votes. Then it was Sim, who I personally voted for, with 20 votes. Then it was Tim in South Africa. Then Boom Jakalaka. Then Akib got 19 votes. And all the way down, actually, everybody got a vote. Every single person had someone vote for them. So thank you to everybody who gave us some of your time for me to ridicule you because you cheated. Oh, here we go. I'll have to refresh the page for this one. ABW member that you love the most. Everybody could pick 3.
I vote for freedom, ladies and gentlemen.
You never guess who's won it?
You have.
Yeah. I'd like to thank my
You
mum.
do know a lot about technology, though, Danny.
Yeah, wheeling around to those hotspots.
He probably just, got different VP lines or whatever,
VIP. I went out once to Chiquitos and they wouldn't let me use their Wi-Fi. Gutted. So I'd like to thank my mum, and I'd like to thank Sean, and I'd like to thank Baby Jesus. It was my favourite of all the Jesuses.
Dan, did you say you can vote for 3 people, or you have to vote for the bloke who's the size of 3 people?
Jace, I would never be mean about anybody in our awards, would I? So don't you start doing it, because I wouldn't do it.
Let's be honest, they were all pity votes. That's it. That's what I'm telling myself, pity votes.
Right, I've got my new basket installed today by a Tottenham and a West Ham fan, so I'll be in that later, and I shall do a live stream from me in Bath.
No pictures, please.
I'd watch that Bath first, then.
In second place is 3 times winner Jeff Arsenal. If he'd have turned up tonight, he might have got a few votes. Third place, this must be an error because it's Jason with 92 votes. This is all so close. Yeah. I had 130, Jeff 126, Jason 92, Gimli 88, Mr. Goonaholic 82.
Did you get a 4th place trophy?
I did. I got a 4th place trophy.
Goonaholic, you got 82 and you come 5th. Chris with 75 comes 6th. Reverend Raj,
Europa League.
How fucking outrageous.
Reverend Raj, he rigged it. He rigged it last year to make sure that I was winning, and all these kept getting these proxy server votes from Egypt or somewhere like that, or Saudi Arabia. I think I had about 400 votes, but I decided to go with when the votes closing, and so Jeff won it last
With
year.
every day that goes by, we don't sign Mbappe. Chris is going to go down a vote.
So then,
Still on me.
every single person got a vote. Even Luke, one of our bloggers, he got.
What do you mean, even Luke? You've done it again!
You're
got
such a
4.
cunt. Seriously.
So that was probably him, his wife, and the 2 kids. He is very good. Shame he didn't bloody turn up more. I even had to delete him off the predictions leagues. He didn't bother answering. Swine.
Wow.
Right, then we have the all-important ABW Fantasy Premier League, which we will be running next season. The winner was Mr. Frank Mundau with Shack Attack. Second place was Leo F with Snake Juice. And third was Kieran Mitrovic with The Goonies. So well done to you lot. Then we had our own Fantasy Premier League for the ABW only. Simon Collins won it yet again with Shamak my bitch up. It's not right, is it? No. And then it was Jeff Hulenfund and with some Budsy Suddles. Budsy Subbles. He's put that the other way around, doesn't he? Subbles, that doesn't work in my brain. And third place with a cheeky team called Inti Yanan. Any idea what that was, John?
Oh, right, yeah.
I
haven't looked at my team since September.
I think I still had Suarez up front. And then
I think Simon and OG were the only 2 who actually kept doing their teams the whole way through the season.
Oh, shit, it is bloody hell. And Gimli couldn't even figure out how to turn his computer on. And then finally, the ABW Predictions League. First place was Aussie Dom with 71 points. Second place was Carl with 60.
Fucking hell, is it?
Yeah. Champions League for you next season.
Definitely.
It's a fucking fly in it. And third place was me with 56 points. I was winning that all the way through to the end. And then Dom pulled out some corkers. So I might have to go and reevaluate that next season and make sure that, and just try better that I win.
Do I win by technicality? Because technically Dom's not in the country, so technically I've won, right?
Well, I did say to him that if he can go get the award, because Jeff got the award, because he, who won the predictions?
Dalek Danny.
Yes. The first season and the third season was Jeff, and the second season was the listeners. So Jeff still has his trophy. So we're going to get a trophy made for Dom. I'm going to PayPal him over the Canadian dollary dues, and then he's going to take a photo of him holding the trophy, and then it'll be swiftly put in the bin. I fucking fly again. Fuck off.
Better make sure it's a cheap one then. We're not made of money.
No, we're not fucking made of money. And so, yeah, congratulations to everybody, and thanks to everybody who joined in over the season. We couldn't have done it without you. And
we could have.
We could have done. It could have just been me and Gimli all season. Yes.
But mostly you, to be fair.
Yes. Well,
really.
Maybe it could have been. Well, yeah, we still got prizes to give out. We're going to give them out this time. We're not going to go. Leave them in one of my ottomans in my sitting room for the best part of a year. I think Jace posted me that shirt 18 months ago, and I still haven't got rid of it. Sorry, Jace.
Do you know what? You're a twat.
Yes,
I love that shirt.
I've been told many, many times.
Not enough
I
times.
loved it. I gave it away to our listeners because some of them are quite cool.
Because they're what?
They're great.
You broke up again.
Carpenter.
Oh.
Right, Gimli. So do you want to go through some of the questions we got from last week's 2 weeks ago podcast?
Let's do some of them. And also, let's do one from last week's and then do one from someone that's asked in the group. So get your questions in. If I do the ones that are in the group, and Danny, you can do the ones that are in there, and we'll alternate. But you go first, because I'm
going to go and put 2 in our chat window from Boy10 and Lazy Python that I asked earlier. So there you go. There's those there 2 in the window. And then I shall go up to the top of the list and see what it is. Right. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, Thunder Road sent us an email.
I remember him, yeah.
I now have his email address. I've tracked it. I found out where he lives. He lives in a flat above Jace, doesn't he?
Stalker.
Yep. He says, oh no,
that's the fuck, and he's going down. I don't like that.
He says, I'm an American and relative newbie to supporting Arsenal and following the Premier and have been following the Premier League since 2006. I still marvel when I look at the lower league tables and see clubs I remember in the top flight. Can you ask someone, or everyone if time allows, we've got plenty of time, if there is a club no longer in the current Premier League that you would love to see back and why? Perhaps sentimental value or a local club. So I will go from left to right on my screen. Josh, first, what team would you like to see back in the Premier League?
I will go with Portsmouth. I'd like to see them come back, especially under their new guys with being fan-owned. Actually, they're not now. They're owned by the guy who owns Disney, don't they?
Fuck
Mr.
'em then.
Eisner. Yeah.
So they're
But
not,
yeah, I'll go
not
with Portsmouth.
fan-owned anymore?
Nope.
No, they got sold over this summer window.
I thought
Rumour-
that's the whole
rumour-
point of it, though.
Rumour
Oh,
has it
for fuck's
they're
sake.
moving from Fratton Park to play their home games at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, I believe.
Harry Kane scored goal for England.
Oh, world class! What cunt?
Brilliant. David, can you hear us? David.
Yeah, I'm back. I just
Ah.
dropped out for some.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
I think people
What's
have got
going on
dodgy.
there?
My Sky internet has been awful lately. It's not been good.
No, tell me about
We'll
it.
wait. Yes, I know. Sky. And quite a few of Sean's friends have got Sky broadband, and they said theirs has been awful as well.
my Sky broadband went off last night for about an hour. Bastards.
Jesus.
I've just changed
All right.
it to Virgin, Danny, so it'll be all right next season.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry that John's not.
Can
I was
you hear
gonna
us,
say,
David?
You know Virgins. John knows them well.
What? Oh, hymen hunting. Yeah, I like that.
I don't think David can hear us. So,
I'm here.
Ellis, you're next on my list, left to right. What
Yeah.
team would you like back in the Premier League?
Obvious one. I want Norwich back in the Premier League, just because then
Why?
I can go up the road and watch Arsenal once a year.
You really want those? I suppose. Fair enough. Next one on my list is Jason, and you can't have them bloody Cardiff swines.
He's on the
I don't know
phone, isn't he?
Is he on the fucking phone? Hold on, he is. Look at him.
He's
Hello.
on the phone.
Hello,
He's ITK, isn't he? He's on the phone to an agent.
Yes. Hello, darling. Of course, I'll respect you in the morning.
The only source he knows is
Danny, I didn't know he was from Zimbabwe.
Shush, he is. Talking a bit from Zimbabwe, it's now John. What team would you like to see back in the Premier League?
Leeds.
Ugh.
Fucking dirty cunt Leeds.
Yeah, because they're dirty Leeds, but they're a huge club, and it's just they're always good games. So.
Okay, David, can you hear us? No. Oh, there's two Davids in there now. Bloody hell, we've got David in stereo. Don wants the... Oh, okay. Right, next one
Fanny.
is Carl. Who would you like to see back in the Premier League?
Charlton Athletic, because they're just down the road from me and I can go there anytime I want.
Okay. Right. The next one on my list is Chris. Oh, God, this would be good. You can't have Leyton Orient because they've been relegated to the French League 2. Can't stay up, though.
Plymouth Fargo. No, I'd like to see Fulham back. Proper stadium, that. Proper fans like Fulham.
It's freezing.
Yeah,
today.
I was watching
It is cold, but then so Stoke, and well, we have to put up with them.
just
No, I
sending
like Fulham.
Dom a little linky poo.
Also, maybe Sheffield Wednesday, if not, because they've been overdue for a long time, and I know one of their fans. So yeah, one of those two.
Can you hear us, David? Oh, he's frozen. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I'm back.
We're talking what
Yay!
Premier League.
Hello.
What ex-Premier League club would you like to see back in the Premier League?
Fulham every day of the week.
Yeah,
Great
go on.
day out.
Same as
Yes.
Chris.
Great day out. Nice pubs in the area.
Good fans as well. Play some lovely football. Ask our Ross about them. Play some really good stuff.
I'm scratching my knee. Little Gimli. We know your footballing knowledge is vast. Who do you want? Aston Villa?
No, I'd like to see Cardiff.
Oh, fuck off.
I would, yeah.
It took them long enough to bleach
Why?
the Premier League of the non-English teams. We're down to one. When they're gone, there'll be none. Oh, is Jason off the phone now? Oh, he is.
Fucking twat.
Thank you. what team would you like back in the Premier League, Jace? Wrexham.
Fucking hell.
Airbus UK.
I'd like to see Wrexham league.
That's okay.
I tell you what, okay? I don't really give a fuck. I am going to steal your wheels.
Well, you're meant to be coming up here in the summer, so I'm gonna fisticuff you.
I'm going to
You're gonna fist
John
him.
fisting then.
My God, this has gone off piste.
You know, I had a lot of people that were very complimentary about my impression of you, Jace, on the last show of the season. Arteta!
I heard it was dog shit.
Was it? Do you really think so?
Are you coming for a coffee again soon?
Yeah, of course. If you promise not to smash my face.
Bring the award with you, Gimli. It took you
never
2
do
years
that.
to get it off him. Bring it back to him.
No guarantees.
Bring it back to it.
Yes, I think I would pick AFC Wimbledon because that for me would be a fairy tale, and I'd love to see
They've
a
never
small
been in the
clubs
Premier
do
League.
well. Huh?
They've never been in the Premier League.
Wimbledon have?
Different
Does
club.
pal? So forget it.
Fuck them Scottish bastards. No, AFC Wimbledon. They're the ones who've got all the trophies. And when when McDonald's fucked off to McKean's, it was decided that AFC Wimbledon would keep all the history and all the
Bring
trophies.
back the 80s. Football's not what it used to be.
Right, next question.
Chris, these French players are shit. They're losing to England.
Oh, shut up.
Harry Kane as
about?
well.
How did Juventus get on in the Champions League final, Tom?
How did Juventus get on?
Drew got a
They
nice
lost to a
offside
Spanish
goal.
team, not a French one. Yeah.
Okay.
They beat the French team in the round before.
We all know
Like Gimli.
We all know La Liga balance, John.
Do you need a wee Gimli?
Joe, obviously.
I do need a slash. Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, this is listener questions. What's a boy to do?
Well, you ask the question, then run away.
Okay, I'll do that then. Let's do that. Ask me a question.
No, you got the one from. You said I'm going to do one from the list, and then you're going to do one from the
Oh,
listeners.
of
So I'll
course.
put 2 in the chat box for you. You got Lazy Python and Boy 10.
All right, I'm not going to ask the boy one because I can't pronounce his name either. I'm just going to go for Lazy Python. We'll go to which one of you boys? Let's go to Ellis. Ellis, this one's for you, and it's the best Santi replacement available or feasible right now.
Oh, God, bloody hell. I like how he ran away after that to me. God, that's not a question for me. I don't know enough about football outside of Arsenal. Can I just say a player that I like?
You can say anyone there. Gimli isn't here. Just pick Chesney.
Yeah, Chesney. That would be good. We can play him in centre mid. That'd be lovely.
So
With that, it's back.
Oh, Dom's here. Hey, Dom.
What's happening?
Podcaster's got 10 times more attractive.
We've just missed the bit where we announced the winners of the awards, and you won the prediction league. And you're going to go and buy a trophy, aren't you? We're going to give you the money. Then you're going to take a picture of you holding the trophy.
It's going to be a big trophy.
Fucking hell, mate. You sound fucking ripping through the stereo speakers. Fuck me.
Oh, hello. Dave
Oh, yeah.
Enter's here.
Oh, you're all... You're coming through nice and loud.
Damn it, that better hair.
Well, she had hair. And better legs.
And better dress sense.
And better luck with the ladies.
Jace, are you comfy there? Fuck you now.
Oh, dear.
You're
Right,
going to have to mute when you laugh, Jace.
I'm going to go from left to right as before. And so your most feasible Santi replacement, Josh.
Oh God. Fabregas. Throw some fire somewhere.
Cheeky. Mr. Holick, who would you have?
I honestly don't know. I don't know enough about foreign football. I've watched a lot of French football this year,
Yeah.
but I've not seen a Santi type player, in all honesty.
I heard that, Danny.
Sleeping problems.
Okay, Dom, who would you have as your Santi replacement?
I
From
tweeted
anywhere.
something about this the other day. I don't want one. I don't want a Santi replacement because I don't
my
want
answer.
to have a team that revolves around one player. I want to play some team football where if someone gets injured, the next person in can, do a similar role and we don't just turn to shit.
That's a very good
What
answer.
sort of half-assed plan is that?
Yeah, I know. It's craziness. Craziness.
Jace, have you got anybody that you'd like to see? Is he having a poo? Because he's been gone for ages. Jace, who would you want?
I get Marco Royce. He's always injured. That could replace Santi perfectly.
He's got a poorly bum.
Woo!
He's got David
But yeah,
Stevens,
exactly same as Dom.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as Dom. What's the point in having a player with a unique skill set who you can't replace? It's pointless. You've got to build a team where next man up attitude is there, ready, waiting. Everybody knows their role. They go out, they perform. That's how we've performed when we've changed the system recently. You've seen Ox on the right. You've seen Hector come back in. You've seen Coughlin come in the middle and do a job against Stoke, you know. So that's the way forward. No more of this nonsense with Arne's going to perform for more than half the season. It's got to change.
Lovely. Not sure if you stopped speaking then, or have you stopped because you've been a bit jerky?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, John.
Yeah, no,
who would you have?
Same as Dom. Why have you got to go and get someone who's exactly the same, only for him to get injured and the whole team collapse? Just go and buy a big scary bastard who's going to kick the shit out of people like Raja Nainggolan, please. That'd do nicely. Just want a midfield full of people who can run all day long, box to box, non-stop, kick people up in the air, score goals, make goals. Centre midfielders, they are a thing. You are allowed to get them. You can't just be defensive or attacking midfield. You're allowed to do both.
You don't have to be ex-Panto stars.
Yeah, exactly. I love Santi. He's great. I love him. He's wonderful. Like his little dance he does when he takes free kicks and we score a goal and everything. But yeah, he's.
Did you say Santi and scored a goal in the same sentence there?
No, I said when he takes a free kick and we score a goal from it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That doesn't happen that often
I thought you'd gone mad.
He normally hits the first man. He normally hits the wall. It doesn't happen.
Carl, who would you have?
Verratti.
Bloody hell. Is he expensive? He is on FIFA.
Probably is, and he's probably going to Barcelona, as Chris would probably say. But
yeah,
put enough money, you'll get him.
Oh, Chris, who would you have?
100 million he is.
Who did Carl say again?
Verratti.
Oh, yeah, no chance of that. Obvious answer, but Jean-Michel Serry.
Jean-Michel Jarre?
Jean-Michel Serry. Anybody that knows their football knows that this kid is going to be twice the player that the beloved N'Golo Kante is. When he goes to Barcelona, you'll all see it, and you'll all thank me for making
Didn't he play as a winger all season?
No, he's a central midfielder.
Didn't he make Mario Balotelli look sane?
Yeah, well...
Didn't he get, 10 assists this season?
I think it was 9 in total, but he does it all. Absolutely does it all. And unlike Kante, he's a very, very good passer of the ball and offers that sort of ability of, driving teams box to box as well as,
how much,
which I know Dom likes. He's got a 40 million release clause, so why we haven't...
Kante, he was at the Footballers Football of the Year this season.
Yeah, he's very good, but he can't pass for toffee. He couldn't pass water. So,
especially in the FA Cup final.
He can. He got raped that day, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's a nice image. Thank you, Chase.
Serry's very, very good. There's a lot of people said, "Oh, no, he plays in Nice." Well, he's been linked with Barcelona and PSG, so he can't be that bad, can he? But I think Barca will go for Verratti, and then there's some horrible links with Tottenham at the moment, which would break my little heart.
Tottenham, are we?
No, they're below us. But no, I mean, if he goes to Tottenham, it'll just be another Moussa Sissoko. So please don't let that happen. But
he's linked to PSG and Barcelona, isn't he, at the moment?
Who? Serry?
No, Sissoko.
Oh, Sissoko. Yeah. Well, yeah. Less said the better, I think, mate. To be honest.
Oh, Gimli, what? I take it you've got soup or something because you're eating it out of a cut of a spoon like a fucking tramp.
I have a cup of soup here, minestrone. Thank you very much. You can't help when the munchies strike; they just strike.
It's not like you've encouraged them all the whole of your life, really. I suppose your adult life, and probably some of your non-adult life as well. Knowing you, France 1-1.
You might have heard that. You might have heard that little squeak. We can confirm that France have just equalised.
Did Chris just cheer on France?
Someone
he did.
Yeah.
He made up for completely losing Kane for the first goal.
Fuck the English. Fuck the English.
You are
Rid of
English.
dog shit.
Who can goal for England?
Give a toss. Tom Heaton.
God, great, yeah.
Is that
Giroud with the
X's,
assist,
brother?
by the way? That dog shit striker we got, Giroud with the assist there again, as usual.
That's not an assist.
Of course it is. He brought the save that led to the bloody ball put in the net, you tit.
It's it's against the England team. That's like kicking away a blind man's stick.
Well, there is that.
I agree with Chris. Fuck the England.
Yeah, Phil
team,
Jones.
sort of
Phil
comes.
Jones is in defence. I'm not sure that goal counts.
All right, Gimli. So who did you want us to replace Santi? Because we're still on that question. Dom's
Who
here,
will-
by the way.
It's never going to happen, but Isco, I can see, is probably who I would want.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and have a look in the chat window. Fuck me, there's still people there.
Can we get-
Steph,
can we get
Steph
that-
agrees with me with Wimbledon. Cheers, Steph. What?
Can we get that bird with the big tits in midfield? She seems to know it all. Can we get her in there?
We are gender and neutral here. How
Somebody
dare you?
called me Le Consali.
What? What did they call her? Do you know,
Le Consali.
Jace, do you know who she reminds me of? You seen that episode of Fools and Horses when they got the blow up dolls and they hit the back of the van? That's what she reminds me
She's not
of.
that attractive. She's not that attractive. Is there a guy flying out to present with an Arsenal shirt again this season?
Possibly.
Tell you what, okay, some people are fucking shambles.
It's like
Talking
Ellen says,
about what
indie
teams we'd
pop.
have, Lazy Python said he wants Nottingham Forest. Dan Batch said Sheffield Wednesday. I have a soft spot for Nottingham Forest. Oh, Dan Batch also says Wimbledon. Noma says Blackburn. Fuck Blackburn, the chicken-eating bastards. No,
Yeah.
not Blackburn, the owners. Dan, if you clean the piss flaps more, there'd be less flies. Cheers, Kurt. Very kind. There's just one fly in here. And I don't know I've asked it what it wants, and it's not going to leave. So I have got these ready to put its arse through its face. Right, another
Literally?
question. Right, we're going to. Literally, I am. Yeah, I do. Tend to,
No. No, there's normally one fly in our house. We call him the Tottenham fly. He sits right on the fucking television. I managed to kill him, just bigger.
Does she apply pressure, Gim? Is that a specialist skill?
What? You've lost me.
No, you said it's a Tottenham fly, so is there specialist subject applying pressure, but ultimately falling
what?
short of?
Oh yeah, every time. Literally, I'll try to apply pressure to his face and always miss.
and you've built him a new home. You just had a shit on top of the shit that was already there.
That'll be his third birthday next week.
Excellent. Right, we have a question from Amit Benley, who I think has been on one of the transfer deadline shows. I'll go from everybody. This time I'll go from I'll go left to right again. He says, do you think Wenger will stick with 3 at the back, or will he try his own way like he does at the start of every season? So first of all, the answer to that is Josh.
What was the question? Sorry, I zoned out. I assume you wouldn't come to me again first.
Yes, I'm going left to right. It's in that order. David's next, then Dom. Will Wenger start next season with 3 at the back, or will he do what he usually does and fuck around with the system?
Knowing our luck,
question.
all our defenders will be injured, so it'll probably be 1 at the back.
And that'll be Petr Cech, not Peter.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think he might change. Sampaoli went 2 at the back tonight against Singapore, so maybe we'll do something similar. Depends who we get in the fixtures.
True. Yeah, that's this week, isn't it? With the fixtures coming out
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow afternoon for me. Actually, I've got to be up at 10 tomorrow, doing some more stuff to my bathroom. I'm just going to go and give a little tweet to let people know we're doing that. Dom. No, it's not Dom, is it? It's David. David, then Dom. David, what was your answer to that? Are we sticking at 3 at the back, or will he do work some magic and play 9? Go all West Brom.
I don't know. I don't actually think he messes around with the side too much. I mean, there are a couple of times last season, mid-season, where he switched to a 4-3-3, and then it was only the last 9-10 games that he was forced basically into playing a back 3, and I think it worked that well. I think we won all but one of those games, didn't we? I think he'll start with it again. It will depend what happens in pre-season, who we play, but yeah, I got a feeling with the players we're going to have, particularly if Callum Chambers stays back, he'll go with 3 for me.
And do you want him to stay? Do you go with 3?
Yeah, I personally would. I think if you've got a system that's worked, go with it. When it breaks, then change it.
That sounds like a very sensible policy. Hopefully he's listening. Dom, do you want to give us some wisdom?
Not really,
Uh,
but I will.
go on then.
I think he'll stick with the 3. I think it makes sense. I know that he does like to be very stubborn, but it worked too well. But I think it also gets the best out of our players. Well, some of the players that we expect more from, like Xhaka and Ramsey and even the Ox, I guess, who we look at as maybe of underperforming earlier in the season. I think it helps them a lot, that system, and the players that it doesn't suit so much are probably players like Lucas and Theo, and players that we probably aren't really too worried about getting the best out of anyway. So I think it helps everybody. It'd be interesting to see what kind of players he signs in the, or if any, in the window, to see what he can add to that.
Okay. Right. Next one on the list is Ellis. Go on.
Yeah, I think I'll probably stick with it. Knowing Wenger will probably stick with it until until it's no longer used to it or useful, and we get worked out, and then we'll stick with it for a couple more games, and then it'll take a little while long before he decides to change to something that is working. But yeah, I can see him. It's worked well since we've changed to the back three, like everyone said. Like, I personally, when people are asking about whether we should change before we did, I didn't think it'd work, but it had, like Dom says, it suits a lot of our players. The only ones it doesn't really suit is, like you mentioned, there's not really too much to worry about. Then one's probably going to go, and then Walcott's Walcott. Everyone else seems to be performing quite well in it, so I think he will stick with it for as long as we need to.
Okay, Jace, in under an hour.
No, I totally agree. You know, I mean, it's about time we changed the system. We're getting outnumbered in midfield all the time. The previous system, if you're just doing it to accommodate Walcott or whoever, it didn't work, did it? You know, we were cut open in midfield throughout the season. This solidified things, hopefully.
Right, lovely. John?
No, he's a stubborn old fuck, so he'll go back to a back four and put Mesut at number 10 again, and he'll get raped through the middle. So.
Oh, happy day!
Good luck following that, Carl.
I think it depends on who we buy and who stays again.
Or who we don't buy.
Yeah, I think if I think if the likes of Ozil and Sanchez stay, then we will use the three at the back. But I think if they leave, it depends on who the replacements are and whether they fit into the team well enough to play in the system that we currently have. So I think it's all dependent on who we buy and or don't buy.
Now words of wisdom from Chris. Chris knows. Go on, Chris.
No, almost word for word what David said. I was skeptical about the back three. I still stick with my belief that it's a little bit in vogue or on vogue. In vogue.
Oh, I love that band.
But brilliant. But yeah, if it works, don't break it. It seems to work. It's rejuvenated some players like Monreal in particular. Kolasinac will probably fit the system fairly well as well. So no, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And stick with it until, as David again said, until it turns out that other teams catch us up. I'm sure within 2 years, 4-4-2's got to be making a comeback soon, isn't it? So I'm sure we'll all go back to that one day.
Leicester won the league with 4-4-2, didn't they?
With outside left and outside right, but no offside.
Yeah.
Oh, jumpers for goalposts.
One thing I would very briefly add: if you're going to stick to three at the back, I do think we do need to slightly tweak how we play the players in behind in a forward role. I just have worries about. I don't know. Oh, Mbappe's so good. I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned. I think we need more pace through the middle, which obviously I like Olivier Giroud a lot, but I do think the system works better when you got pace up front if you're going to have overlapping fullbacks, because then you can get crosses in early and have players running onto it. So we might have to tweak the system further forward. But.
Little Gimli.
But everyone listening there, when Mbappe tried to shoot, you could actually hear the pre-ejaculation moment from Chris.
Oh,
if you're listening, rewind this back 30 seconds. You hear that? Oh, he's so good.
It's a good job you can't see his crotch in it.
I am at full mast right now.
It's a good job he's not nude, isn't it, Chris? Because you probably would be too.
Oh, cheeky.
Oh.
What about you, Kim? Do you think we'll stick with three at the back?
Personally, I think he's going to stick till three at the back until his next contract, which I fully hope he signs. And then let's have a change then. And let's just see where we are in 2 years' time. But stick with the three.
Right, Gimli, there's a question in the chat box from... Oh, you can read the question.
Oh, have I got to say his name?
Yes.
Or is no, yes. Giroud is going on. Is it the Giroud one?
Yes.
All I've got is she's got a bigger cock, though, from what I've heard.
Slow down a little bit.
That's what she said.
Oh, there we go. That's a Giroud question. Giroud has scored 98 goals in 5 seasons for the Arsenal. Why is he so underrated even amongst our own supporters?
Who's that
Carl,
from? Say who it's from.
Nicky G. Wilson.
There you go. That's important.
That's Ricky, in from Kaiser Chiefs, brother.
Are they still a thing?
Yeah, never miss a beat.
Good. Very good. I just got that.
Carl?
I think it's because it doesn't have pace. Genuinely, I think that's the only reason why. It's the same reason why people don't like Per Mertesacker. Any other reason? If Chris said something to me on a radio show once, and it really stuck in my head. He said, "What is?" Because I was complaining about Per as well, and he said, "What is the reason why people don't like Per?" And it genuinely is because of pace. If he had pace, Per Mertesacker would be one of the best defenders probably in the world. That his positioning is brilliant. His reading of the game is brilliant, and only is because he doesn't have pace. And exactly the same as Olivier Giroud. If Olivier Giroud had pace, he would be a world-class striker. I don't consider him a world-class striker at present, but I think if he had pace, he would be brilliant because he would play to how Arsenal sort of our team set up. He doesn't, at the moment, I don't think he fits into our team because we don't play towards Giroud's strengths. We don't cross the ball in from the edges and put it on his head. At the end of the day, we can't expect Giroud to run onto free balls because he doesn't have that pace. He can't outpace probably 90% of the defenders in the league. So that's the reason why I think people don't like Giroud.
I've put some more questions in there, Gimli, so you don't have to ask everybody the same question.
Yes. Am I doing another one?
Yeah, go on. I'll put them in there and you ask them.
From Kurt Ice. Is winning the Europa League a step up or a step down for us? Would you like to win it, or would you rather we play the kids? Ellis?
I think you've got to want to win every competition you're in, really. Like, I know the quality is obviously a big step down from the Champions League, but then you start once you get through the knockout groups in the Champions League, those sort of teams in third place in their groups drop into the competition, so the quality is then sort of upped a bit more if it wasn't already. So I think it'll be tricky, as you can see from what's happened with United finishing 6th and going to win it. It's just quite hard to go far in that competition and finish high up in the league. So it will be tricky, but I don't think you can really pick and choose what competitions you go for. You've just got to go for it when you can and try and win as many as you can. And if you're out, you're out, and you just move on to the next one. But as in terms for like kids, I'm sure there'll be opportunities where we will be able to play the kids and try out some of the reserve teams and reserve players. But yeah, I don't think you can pick and choose. Whether it's a step up or a step down, it's hard to really say. It's a trophy we haven't won before, so you could say that's something in the right direction. But obviously, we'd all probably rather win the Champions League, but that's not going to happen.
No. Right. Another one from NN_Guna, and he asked, from Pat Rainsford, has there been a more complete and totally unexpected performance from an Arsenal team other than that on Saturday during Arsenal's reign? David?
What game are we talking about?
Cup final.
Cup final, yeah.
This over a week ago.
And yeah, there have been so many great performances under him, but in terms of achieving something out of a game that you didn't expect to get something out of, that's right up there, isn't it? Absolutely right up there. That's what I said earlier. I've still got the buzz. It's 2.5 weeks on, but it was just a great day to be there and a fabulous one to experience.
Next one, Guinness from NN Guna.
From NN_Guna.
Top man, by the way. Sorry, Jimmy.
What type of beverage would taste best when drank from the FA Cup?
Ask everybody that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask everybody that. So let's go for Josh first.
Jose Mourinho's blood.
Oh, for fuck's sake, don't say that.
David?
Edge Bollinger.
Oh, classy man, Dave.
Sorry, that's a champagne. You wouldn't know, would you?
It's like fizzy wine, Gimli.
I bet you Dom's going to go, Grayson Oil!
I was going to say Mourinho tears, but I don't know. Don't really care.
We'll go something that's fallen out of one of Mourinho's orifices. Ellis?
Ugh, why would you want to drink something that's come out? Ugh, no. Lovely bit of Aspel's Suffolk cider. Nice cold, lovely.
Beautiful.
You
Jace?
changed.
Absinthe.
Fucking
hell.
And then set
Doesn't
fire
that
to
make
it.
the heart grow fonder?
Go
Do you know-
fucking home, okay? I've had enough of you.
Sorry,
Oh, cider. We love some cider. Fuck off.
I like
some
tequila
absinthe.
then. With one of them big fucking maggots in.
Let's put a snake in it, a
Let's get
cobra.
Yeah.
I really
Let's get
thought,
fucked up.
Jason,
Apologies for
I
the
thought
absinthe grows strong. Oh, God.
I thought you were going to say something like used blended Kit Kats. would that even blend to a liquid? It wouldn't, would it? I'd just add some fucking chuck in some milk then. Let's have a Kit Kat milkshake.
I'm not commenting on Kit Kats anymore.
Never again. Who's that bird sat on the wall behind you, Jace? She's got red hair. Looks like she's on the phone. You tell her she's distracted. You bang her in and tell her to fucking jog on. We're trying to do a show here.
It's Indy Chris.
Apparently, there's a guy waiting for her at the airport. This cannot be confirmed.
Jesus.
Flowers in hand.
It's times like that. Chris wishes he could drive.
Can we
Okay.
get her on, Jace? Can we get her on the pod for a bit?
Ask her what's her views on
She's
Wenger.
hooked up as well.
No. Looks all right for
So have
me.
you like that?
Chris's
I
cat
don't
seems
know you
very
boys.
interested in this.
He is. He's
Right,
just
John,
staring
next
at me.
game.
Yes, John?
I don't drink booze anymore, so it's a bit boring. If I was still drinking, it'd be Jack Daniels, but now, as I don't drink anymore, ladies, just lots of ladies out of the cup. Drink them all night.
Two birds.
So that was 2 girls, 1 cup then.
Oh, for fuck's
Basically, yeah.
sake. Oh, God.
Hello to Carl's family if you're watching. He has no part in this.
Dear lady listeners, we do apologise for being dickheads.
Carl, bring us
There we
back
go.
from the break.
I don't really drink myself, but I would love a good old Jaeger bomb in there.
That
Massive
would be a
one.
good one. Be fucking huge.
Pint glass of Jaeger in there.
Go on, Chris.
What's Chris gonna have? Fucking
Oh, pirate grog in it, obviously.
Well,
Rum.
no, like,
Rum!
Yeah.
like,
Boys, the technical term is grog, and this monkey's going to have an orange juice, isn't he?
yeah, probably.
You
'cause
know far too much about pirates. It's an obsession, Jace. Let it go.
like John, I'm 5 years and a bit sober, so yeah, it would have to be something casual for me. Something pretentious like Schlur, something like that. That's what I'd have.
What brings it? You remind me the other day when you posted your non-alcoholic lager in it that had alcohol in it.
Well, it didn't really, did it? Let's be honest. We've had
But it's still alcohol.
well, not really.
You
No.
have alcohol in it, Chris. You're not 5 years sober.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, I'm a teetotaler. Apart from my 0.5% beer that I drink every now and again.
Carl, can you put the
You need to
straight
give
what
us-
you said that
you need
night
to give
again,
us-
please?
You need
Honestly,
to give us chips back.
fucking Nora.
Chips back, man.
Chris,
To
did
be
it have
fair-
alcohol? Did it have alcohol in it?
No.
Even a trace. Even a trace.
Well, no, not that I'm aware of.
Yes, it did, but it did.
Fucking
though.
says it on the can.
It says like 0.2% beer.
Boys, it's ITK lager. Leave him alone.
You know the point I'm making. I don't drink, so I would have a less or a non-alcoholic beverage in that cup.
But it
What
would be
would-
fed to you by the French league.
Absolutely.
What
Thank
would you have? A watered down Wicked Blue?
I'll have like a bottle of Evian or something French. Yeah. Wicked blue.
Heavy
Fuck's sake.
water by himself. Oh,
it'd be wicked red. Is there a wicked red?
Jesus.
An Irish one?
No, mine like the
Gimli.
cats will just piss in it.
What would you have, Gimli?
Oh, I'd go down Chris's lines and I'd have an apple ties with 1 drop of rum in it.
Oh,
and it's
fuck off.
so would
Because I've been on the wagon 10 years and I couldn't have people thinking that I've been drinking.
Oh, go
Okay.
fuck yourself.
This is what I'd have. A little
I'm
bit of
never thinking down there for dancing, boys. You know how it is.
Look at that. That is from Aldi. Oh, I went there. I love it. It's
Hiking.
mango and pineapple vibe. It's got no calories in it.
How come you're still fat then?
I think Dom will be the judge of that. Danny, thank you.
It's got about.
Hey, go on.
Chris is coming. Chris is coming.
Woohoo!
It's got 28 calories a bottle, but technically that's none.
Oh,
You're not meant
working
to
on
eat the
Chris's
bottle.
logic.
I bought Budweiser this week, Gimli, and I bought cider.
Did you really?
I did. It was £14 for a case of 20 Budweiser, and I thought, well, I wouldn't mind the odd cold Budweiser. It's the only beer I can stand. And then for an extra £4, you got another 20. So I bought 40. Now they're all sat in bedroom. I've had one in 2 weeks.
Do you want to roll some down to Wales?
And I bought some Copperberg pear cider as well, because that's the king of ciders.
Oh.
I'll be up next week, pal.
You certainly can. And they're screw tops as well, which means I can't fucking open. I have to open it with my teeth.
Oh, if you get a chance, have a look at the French game with
I'm watching it.
Have a look at the absolute embarrassment that is John Stones.
Can I just say that Tom Heaton is shit as well?
Yeah,
was that Diaby who scored?
Dembele. No, it's Djibril Sidibe got the goal.
But
But
they're not
Dembele,
the same, Danny, you racist bastard.
Tall gentleman, Carl. How dare you?
Whatever.
Danny still thinks Gael Clichy plays centre mid for Arsenal.
Honestly, if John Stones is worth 48 million, Rob Holding's worth 148 million.
Well, on FIFA, John Stones is a 78 gold. That's all you need to know, and so is Fellaini.
and we all know FIFA is the law.
It is. And Jeff says it's not real life, but it is. All right, Gim, the next question we've got there on the right-hand side is from Jonas82.
And he says, how can we stop those ridiculous and childish AKB WOB insults? Different opinions, but supporting the same team, right?
Well said.
Ooh, Dom.
Unfortunately, people are addicted to outrage, so we're not going to be able to stop that. All you can do is just ignore it and switch it off.
It's a little bit like what we do when Danny goes all racist. We just ignore him and switch him off.
I have a black cat. How dare you?
There's a very strongly worded letter from Carl's lawyers on the way to you, Danny.
We all know Carl is my spokesman when I'm not on here.
We're going to have to give Carl 2 Viscounts next year just to stay.
Danny, can you explain your reasoning behind why Raj has made limited appearances this season? You trying to keep the good man down, or what's?
Well, we're only allowed one foreigner on per show, and that's usually Gimli because he's Welsh.
I see.
Raj is a busy man because the I keep going to say Backstreet Beatles. It isn't, the bootleg Beatles.
Beatles.
Backstreet Boys. Is it Backstreet Boys?
The bootleg
Are you
Beatles.
sure you're not mildly dyslexic?
Well, Dom explained to them my issues.
They are playing. They're playing Glastonbury, aren't they?
I've got Asperger's. It's not Asperger's, but Arthur.
They're
It's
playing
not
Glastonbury, aren't they?
Asperger's either. Where did you get that from?
That's what I call it. I don't know how I can deal with it. Give it the wrong name.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the Beatles are really busy this year and this all year, and Raj is doing a wonderful job. And
Well, the Beatles aren't because most of them are dead.
Well, some Beatles somewhere.
The
under a
Backstreet
plank of
Beatles
wood.
were at
Last Thursday, they were playing at the Royal Albert Hall,
There
and
you
myself and Lord Jeffrey were in attendance.
Were they
There
good?
you go.
How good were they, Dave?
Brilliant, absolutely superb night.
Did Raj
And
come
I
up and say hello?
stayed the night in the new Socialist Republic of Kensington.
Oh, Corbyn is a gooner.
And I'm sure I saw Mr. Patel tweet that they were opening at Glastonbury as well. I'm sure I saw him tweet
Yes, they are. They
that.
are.
There you go.
That is why
Fucking
Raj
that
is
festival
the
goes
big-
down every year.
Blood-
It's worse and worse.
Bloody good luck to him, I say. Fair play to the man.
They need to get some decent thrash metal on there, like Nickelback. I'll get them to open
Oh,
Glastonbury.
fuck
That'd be great.
Chris, will Raj be
making any new signings to the band?
Well, I mean, I'll have to consult my sources. Brown and Mayo are the two of choice at the moment.
Can I get that bloke from In Excess in? Dead
I
bomb.
hear that Howman's old boy is very good.
Michael
That's it.
Hutchins? Yeah, no.
On a free from Wham.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Right, where are we?
There's still people watching this. I can't believe it.
I know.
Listen,
You and me both,
It's like Dom said, people are addicted to outrage.
Booba from Booba, but oh no, there's one above that from Guna Chris. Well, we don't. Yeah, Jonas's. From Guna Chris, he asks, "What can be done to improve the atmosphere at well, I think he means in there, but in and around the stadium on match days?" From KO, We need the stadium to be a cauldron of noise. John, what can we do to get the Emirates bumping?
It's difficult, really. I think it's partly down to the club to encourage younger fans to go. So I know they've done some decent things with reducing ticket prices for certain age groups. So I think they need to do more of that. But a lot of it comes down to the team. If the team aren't performing, then the fans aren't going to get behind them. You saw the really, really low points of last season in the away games where we were, the away fans who normally will sing for anything, were singing "You're not fit to wear the shirt." But then after that, the team got back together, started playing better, and everyone was getting behind them. And even at the home games where it is generally quieter, and you can see that just from sitting at home watching it, there was a lot more noise. So I think a lot of it comes down to the manager, the players. You've got to excite the fans and get them up off their feet. If it's just a one tackle flying in 50-50, really crunching tackle, or a shot from distance that pings off the crossbar, that kind of thing, gets people on their feet, gets them cheering, gets them behind the team. But I hope the club continues to do I don't know everything they've done. David would probably know more. But I know they've done a few things to encourage younger fans into the stadium, because they're the ones who are going to make most of the noise. I mean, I don't get to go to the games very often. I'm in my 30s, so I'm hardly old, but even when I go, I'm not the loudest supporter ever. So I'd imagine a lot of our fan base that go there, probably 40s, 50s, because of the price of the tickets. So they probably just want to sit there and watch the football and don't want to jump about and sing and everything. Yeah, it's different on a cup final day, but for a Premier League match, it gets a bit much. So you need that sort of 16 to 25-year-old crowd in there more than anything else.
You've never sat next to me, have you, John?
Well, with the exception, of course, of David, who would obviously be the loudest person in the stadium. You can always hear him.
I've got a theory about it as well. And I think that there's a lot of the atmosphere has been taken out of modern stadiums everywhere. It's not just the Arsenal ground, but all this pre-match entertainment. When the atmosphere was at its best, you didn't have all that music beforehand. You might have a song when they came out, but you'd leave the supporters to make their own entertainment, and it grew organically. And you could see and hear the opposing fans as well, so it would build up earlier. So I would get rid of all that pre-match music for a trial period and see if that worked.
Yeah, I think you saw the Champions League final, didn't you? You had was it Black Eyed Peas, wasn't it, beforehand?
Shameful.
Yeah. If they're your thing, fair enough. But why have you got a band on before a football game? It's totally pointless. You want the fans there. Especially the thing David said as well. You see FA Cup games when there's a bigger away support group because they've got a larger allocation. The noise is much better from the home and the away fans because there's a real rivalry back and forth going then.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think when you look at the new stadiums being developed now, I think they've learned from ones that were built like ours, like the Emirates and a few others that have been used that same design. I don't know what it is, but the noise doesn't travel around it the same way. And I think if you look at Roma's new stadium and a couple of ones in France that are being built, they've been done in a different way to enhance the atmosphere and to keep the sound in, to make it more, I don't know if it amplifies it in a certain way, something to do with the acoustics and stuff. But yeah, it definitely is a part victim of the new stadium thing.
The Lyon Stade de Lumière is a very good example of that. Like John said, the atmosphere in there is absolutely fantastic. Whereas you get, like as David said, the old-fashioned stadiums, you do get a bit of atmosphere, or you seem to get more atmosphere. It also depends on how the team are performing. I mean, if you're
that's the big thing.
Yeah.
You look at the cup final. You look at that cup final. You look at the reaction at the beginning of the game, the way we started. You look at the reaction after Sanchez's goal, even with the time delay. You look at the reaction when Ramsey scored the winner. All too often this season, we've started off as if we're asleep. And that's your problem. That's the main problem. That stadium has rocked on many an occasion. The manager and the players, got the team behind them. It's as much their responsibility as the fans.
There you go then. Does anybody need to leave so we can get Steve on? Anybody want to offer?
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody leave. Just put Steve on. Right, take care all. Nice to see you.
Cheers,
You off,
Jace.
It's my turn.
Yeah, I'm off. Ta-da.
Cheers, Jace.
Cheers, Jace. Thank you very
How
much.
the hell do I get off this?
That's what all
You
John's
click the
ladies
red
say.
button.
How the hell do I get off this? What the fuck's going on?
Man tries to work technology in live broadcast.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
Oh, God, he was bringing us down. Thank God he's fucking... Oh, we'll hear this, won't he? Just send Steve to try now.
Oh, I'm so glad that Welsh prick's gone.
No, you're still here.
God.
Right, ask Noma's question.
Oh, I see you put it in there, have you?
Yes, I'm organised.
Um,
I'm pulling the strings. You're making the noises.
Noma.
Just Noma will do.
Just Noma. Are you expecting anything to be different next season? And if so, what are your reasons for that beyond just hope and faith? Who hasn't had one, Danny?
Please go to Chris. Please go to
Josh.
Chris for this.
Josh.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Well, we've got 3 new teams that are coming up, so that's going to differ. There's 2 stadiums that I don't think Arsenal have travelled to, in Huddersfield and the Amex in the league games. So there'll be some decent high points, some more away games, just to mix it up a little bit. I am looking forward to the Europa League. I think I missed the chat on that. But I would think that that's going to be quite a good competition. And you've always got to have faith and belief at the beginning of a season, because everybody starts on a level playing field. You know, the likes of Huddersfield and Leicester will be looking at the league table and think we've got a chance to win it until inevitability of kicking off. But you've got to have that faith that we can go win the league and put a decent running into every competition that we're in.
What are you doing, Gimli, you tit?
I've muted myself. That's what I've done.
No, you hadn't, because we could hear Kate.
Could you? I
Yep.
don't know. So hold on, right?
I personally wouldn't put it that far up because you'll never get it out again. Silence. Carry on, Jim.
I'm busy proofreading the questions and putting them in there. So
Ever
the
the
next question,
professionals.
Gimli, is you've read Nomas, haven't you? From Baba Boona.
Yeah.
Babu Boona. Fuck it. You know what I mean.
Right,
You don't
from Booba Boona.
That's him.
What's your favourite Arsenal player chant? Right now, Rob Holding, you know he's better than Cannavaro is mine. And let's go to...
Oh, hello.
Ellis.
I don't know, actually. I don't generally know what players won. I'll tell you what, if we did get Mbappe, like, Mbop is going to be easily going to be changed to suit his little song if he gets one. But that's whether we get him or not. In terms of actual Arsenal
But
players,
it's his favourite song is still Abue's.
did he even have a song? He didn't have a
Yeah.
song, did he?
Only come to see Abue.
Of course. No, I don't know. I don't really have one.
No.
I thought
Anybody
Abue's
else?
was you're not fit to wear the string.
Whoa!
That's
cockle-ass.
How about your favourite? How about your favourite chant ever? My one, while you're having a think, is the Newcastle United's Philippe Albert. Philippe Albert, and everybody
they had
knows his
they had
name.
They had a better one than that.
What?
Sunday, Monday, Happy Bay. That was good. Although my personal favourite was the FC of United of Manchester, with the police walking in front of the stand, and they were singing, "We pay our council tax. That pays for your fucking hats," which I thought was very cleverly done.
I think my favourite one's just got to be "What Do You Think of Shit?" Just because if anyone starts it off in the stadium, everyone immediately gets up for it, and I just love it. There's always that one guy who will like to sing it, and you'll get there through the 90 minutes, and by the end of the 90 minutes, he's hoarse and just shouting, "What do you think of Tottenham?"
Yeah, that's
Very
very
good.
good.
Can you hear us now, Steve?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey!
Hey, welcome.
fucking bollocksy, fucking shite driver hawk bastard, fucking cunting IT shit problems. Sorry, I tried to get as many swears in there as I could.
What's your favourite chant of all time for any club?
I'm making a new one up called "Run Jerry Payton over. He's a Morris dancing cunt."
I see your cunts per minute ratio is just raised significantly.
How does that one go, Steve?
2, 3, 4.
Run Jerry Payton over. He's a massive Morris dancing cunt. Da, 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 da. Yeah, no, I rushed home from work to find out. I'm doing some sound recording on the computer, so it's completely my fault because it buggered all the drivers up. And I should have known to reset them afterwards, but now I found out how to do it. So there you go.
Very good.
And apparently what you have to do is you have to plug in the bloody headphones and unmute them from the computer.
Well, there you go. Write that down, people. It might come in handy one day. Anybody else got any good? Dom, do they have any decent chance for Aussie rules, or it's just you can't hear yourself think over the sound of breaking bones and death?
No, not really. We don't have that same kind of atmosphere.
I watched a Vice documentary on Aussie rules. Yeah, it's pretty good.
What was the Park Ji Sung one? He shoots, he scores, he eats your Labrador.
Yeah. Perhaps
That would be popular with Alexis.
I was just going to say, Alexis leaves, we could sing that then, couldn't we? Jacker ate your fucking dog. Yeah, I think that would be the way forward for that one.
Sorry to James if you're listening. That's nothing to do with us.
I want to dance for Koscielny's quite a good one as well, isn't it? That's quite.
How does that go?
It's the Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody.
How would I don't know.
I'm not going to sing, Danny.
There's that Glasgow Rangers one as well when they found out that Andy Gorham had schizophrenia and they were singing "There's only two Andy Gorhams."
Oh, that's awful.
Of course it is. It's fucking Glasgow Rangers.
Steve, have you got any songs about David Pleat from the 80s at all? I'd like to know if there's any of those.
Sex case, hang him.
There we go. Thank you very much. My work here is done.
Oh, how about another really good one? One was he's French, he's quick, his name's a porno flick, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, yes, very good. Yeah, very good.
Nothing beats walking in a Bergkamp Wonderland, obviously.
Naturally.
That's where we got the idea from, wasn't it, Mr. Gimli?
It certainly was.
What are you doing? Are you putting things in your secret
I'm moving
pocket again?
Yes, I'm moving.
Next question is from Joe Madge. I'll have to put some more in here now, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And Joe Madge asks, if there are big changes to the squad, can there be too many changes to the squad in one summer?
That's roughly what he said. I had to edit it a bit. Don't give it to Chris, because here has given me one just for Chris here, and it takes a bit of reading, so I'll ask
Let's ask Steve then.
For what?
I'll read you the question
favourite
again,
colour?
Steve.
Go on.
Yeah, what's your favourite colour?
Red.
Fair enough. If there are big changes to the squad, can there be too many changes to the squad in one summer?
At the present time, but if we had to take 4 or 5 changes, no. We're gonna have to make at least 2 because we need a new striker. We need a Cazorla replacement. We desperately need someone else who can play with Xhaka who's going to last 40 or 50 games because Aaron Ramsey sadly won't. So there's 3 you've got to make. We've got the new Balkan assassin coming in as well, so that's a 4th change. So yeah, and if Sanchez goes, you'll need to make another one. So yeah, 5 or 5. Whether he likes it or not, he'll have to change 5, and if he doesn't, it'll be mid-table obscurity and thank you and goodbye.
There you go. Shall I ask Chris's question now? Are you listening, Chris? You'll love this. This is from Mihir. Right. Pep has criticised England's youth system, saying there's a huge gap between first team and youth team as opposed to Spain and Germany, and that English lads aged 16 to 17 aren't used to pressure. Another shot at England and its league from Pep. Arrogant much, ? Or bitter truth, ? He constantly whines about one thing or another, comes across as arrogant in his press. Now, we know your love of Pep. What's your thoughts on that question?
Well, The first thing to say is, yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not taking anything away from what he's done. He's clearly a very, very good manager and all that bollocks that goes with it. Yes, he's a very arrogant bloke. I mean, his job must be so difficult, managing, 3 of the most rich clubs in the world, and then basically walk away when the pressure gets too much, because that's what he did at Barcelona, that's what he did at Bayern Munich, and that's what he'll do to Manchester City. He sits there and bangs on about, the English are not. I do agree with him to the degree that English players are not good enough, because they're not, and they never will be. But
that's not what he said.
Well, what he is saying is that we're behind the Spanish and Germans for the young players. I do agree with him there, but I think it's a little bit rich when how much of Manchester City spent on that young academy, and how many English players?
That's what he's saying. That the problem is, the reason those academy players aren't breaking into the first team is because the second tier of football that they play in isn't competitive enough, so they don't play competitive games. They aren't playing against men, so they're not ready to go into the first team because they'll get absolutely crucified. You can't blame Pep Guardiola for the youth academy and all the money Man City have spent on it. That was already there before he got there.
You can blame him for playing some of the players he's got at his disposal that arguably are ready. I mean, how does he know if he doesn't put them in the first team?
Well, you must know. Well, you say the same thing. They see them in training. You say the same thing that Arsene says. When he doesn't play Lucas Perez, you give the argument that he sees him in training, so he knows he's not good enough to play. It's exactly the same argument, isn't it?
So
all Guardiola's saying is that there should be a better system in place for young players in this country to get competitive football under pressure in front of big crowds, so they're actually ready for first team football.
All you need to do is look at the plethora of young English talent that's come through and turned to shit and never kicked on, and also look at the World Cup teams or national team success or lack thereof over the last little while. He's spot on. Whether you like it or not, he's absolutely spot on. You don't have to agree with the rest of what Pep does as a manager, but that comment alone, pretty hard to argue.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with the point of view that there isn't enough work done on the English academy, but I also don't think that they're giving it enough chance. I mean, I listened to bloody Henry Winter bang on 5 Live the other night about saying, that Chelsea's academy is second to none, and they've all got their own WhatsApp group for all the players on loan and all this shit. And I'm like sitting there going, that's utter bollocks. They just farm these players through the system and shove them out. Not one of them has got any chance to get in the first team.
Here's a question for you then. How many of the Barcelona kids have we brought over and introduced into our first team over the last little while, and how many English players go overseas at the same age?
Oh, they don't. I agree. They
don't. So at that age, they're not ready. They're not able to. No other league around the world would pick them up and think, well, they can't get into the Man City squad because it's too strong with all of the money that you're saying that Pep spends. So if they were good enough, then surely other mid-range teams in, say, France and Spain and Italy would be picking these kids up if they were good enough, like we do with Spain, like everybody else does with other young talented guys from around the world, not just Spain, but Italy and France as well. There's a reason that no one goes from England to the overseas continental teams, because they're not good enough.
I think the reason is the fact that they get paid more money here than they would do over.
That's also very, very good point. They're millionaires when they're 16, 17. It's too easy, right?
And they don't want to go. They don't want to go abroad. They don't want to
make this very simplistic debate, because on Sunday morning, most of us, I suspect, watch the England under-20s win the World Cup. So we're not producing bad players.
But they're not. But the problem is they're at clubs where they're never going to play. They're all at English clubs where they're not going to play top-level competitive football. And Guardiola's argument is that if you look at in Spain, where they have Barcelona B who play in the second division, or I don't know if they're second or third division at the moment, but they're never allowed to be promoted to the top flight. But all their players play for a real club. They play in front of thousands of fans week in, week out. They play against men, not other boys, and they're competitive. And the same thing happens in Germany. And that's why when they're 16, 17, they're ready to go into the first team, because they've actually got that experience. It's very, very few that come through. Look at Rob Holding. He's a player who's an exception. That's not the rule. That sort of thing doesn't happen generally.
That's because they're getting swept up, though, at the ages of 13, 15 or so. You're looking at, two of us have said that we want to see Fulham
the second
come
tier
through.
of the reserve football is non-existent anymore in this country. It doesn't exist anymore. There isn't there.
Is it about that though, or is it about the fact that the English players are just not technically good enough? Full
Probably a
stop.
bit of both.
No, I don't believe that. There's lots of very good English players.
Yeah, there's lots of very good, but elite level. I mean, you know,
But
the biggest.
if they're not even breaking into Premier League teams, like just general Premier League teams, you know, like Crystal Palace and teams like that are going and picking up players from France and where else. Yeah, they're cheaper because the English players command a certain price, but they're not amazing footballers. They're, you know, middle of the road sort of journeyman Premier League players. There's plenty of English players who can do that job.
So if we're looking at young players that could come through and play in the Premier League, you're looking at someone like Ryan Sessegnon. He's going to go in this window and get absorbed by a huge team, and he's just not going to get a game anymore. If he stayed at Fulham for another couple of years, you'll see him develop into a lot better footballer. And I think that's the problem, that these huge teams, us included, are sweeping up young talent and then not using them properly.
But the problem is that the smaller teams can't afford to not let them go. If a big team's coming in and saying, "Oh, we're going to give you 10 million to a team like Fulham," is a lot of money. So can they afford not to sell them?
I think one of the big issues as well is this that Dave touched on it earlier. It's about wages, and in the old days, some of these kids just wanted to play. These days, you know, if Chelsea come in and say, "Oh yeah, you know, we buy that kid off of Fulham for 10 million quid, and you can have 60 grand a week. Go and sit around on the bench, fucking around, or you know, go and play, you know, do whatever you do." And what's also killing it? That's one thing that's killing it. The second thing that's killing it is the use of youth in loan schemes to generate turnover to beat FFP. And Chelsea have been a leader in this. They've been making a fortune out of lending out so many players to get their turnover up so that they can use that money to pay higher wages to their first team and spend more. And that's another.
Steve, they had 40 odd players on loan last season.
Yeah.
And I went on transfer market, and then I found out that you added the total value of them 44 players was 110 million they'd bought them for.
Yeah, so that's 33% of their annual turnover. So that means they can add 33% to their wages bill. That's what you've got to think about. In the meantime, those kids, I wonder how many of them are really truly unhappy that they're not playing but getting 60 grand a week. Exactly. I mean, if I was told, "Oh, you know what? If Chris came to me as the manager of the Pirates, said, 'Oh, Steve, it's 60 grand. Go and sit down in the pub and fuck around all day.' I'm sure me and Carl would love it."
John. Say, is that what Dom said? That they're millionaires by 16. So you got to wonder, what are they in the game for? Are they in the game for money, or are they in the game to play football? And if you're 16, 17 years old, you're really getting stupid amount of money, more money than you'll ever see, more money than your friends, and you're getting girls and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. Of course, you can't, your head gets turned because you're thinking, well, I'm getting 60k a week. I'm not bothered whether I'm playing football or not.
So I'm going to use Serge Gnabry as a little example here for my point earlier, where, you know, assume he's an English kid. He went to West Brom and hardly got played at all. And then since then let's pretend that we kept him on our books. We sent him off to Germany. And as a young kid, he actually had the goal to actually go to another country and play football somewhere else. And there are different customs, different expectations, different rules. And look how he's kicked on at a different club in a different league. And I think that that's a big thing, that the English kids just don't ever go and experience anything else. And like Steve said, that they're so comfortable where they are and they're getting so much money so early that they don't need to push themselves to push on. We look at how well Szczesny's done since being shipped off to Italy. He's kicked on again. I think it's just the lack of desire for these kids to go anywhere really hampers their development.
Lack of brains as well. If you speak to the average English youth footballer, they're not exactly, you know, Jeremy Paxman. There's a lack of articulateness. There's a lack of being able to think. Now, the modern game's about strategy. Chris talked about, well, are these kids good technically enough? Some of them are, but are they good strategically enough? Can they play in a disciplined fashion to a coach's plan and set out and strategy? And, you know, I remember going back into my younger years, I remember Ian Rush going to Juventus, and he lasted one season there because he couldn't acclimatise, he couldn't learn the language, he didn't want to learn the language, he didn't want to change his diet, he didn't want to do anything like they did. And that's a massive problem for a lot of English players and a lot of English people. They can't just go and work abroad.
Agreed.
as Don was saying.
Sorry for the
Right then.
butchering the chap's question, but I see his point. I'm not sure what when he says about the Pep thing. If he's saying is he arrogant, yeah, I think he is. But then so are all managers. So Arsene is as well. So I can't beat him with that stick. But I do think he comes out with very clever sound bites that don't really have any point to them. But that's just me, I suppose.
Jim, we can hear your dogs.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I told you
Well,
you
this-
weren't
Kate's
muted.
puppies.
Well, this thing isn't muted then.
No, you tit. I've been hearing your puppies squealing, which normally on the internet would be a good thing.
Literally,
You
I've
say-
had the light on the thingy and the light off. Is it definitely not muted at all?
No.
No.
Okay.
We've
No,
been
I'm-
listening to dogs for the last 20 minutes.
I do apologise.
Did you say that we,
Obviously.
It's made me hungry. It's made me very hungry. I'm going to have to kick on, lads.
I think we're
Right, have a great rest of the show.
we're going to shut. We're going to shut. We're going to finish now, aren't we, Jim?
Yes, we are.
We've just got to do the. It's been going 2 hours and 20 minutes. We've just got to mention the books that we've been given, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We have got 4 of those to give away, signed by the author. Now, luckily they emailed us, so it was got to say thank you to Tim and Rich from Simon and Schuster, the publishers of this book, and then they've given us. They only were going to give us 1, then it was 2, and then when they turned up, it was 4. So each book has been signed by Tony Adams. And so this is only available to people in the UK, unless you want to pay the postage abroad. But then the postage for a book abroad is going to be about 15 quid. You might as well just go and buy it anyway, and then get a pen and pretend to write in it yourself. So we're thinking, what would be a good question? So we've got 4 of these to give away. We'll post them and we'll pay for it out of podcast funds. But we'll only do it if you are in the UK, because otherwise it costs a fortune. And I was thinking, what's something that we've all got? I thought cats and dogs. Now I don't know the answer to this. So we're thinking of every single current member of ABW between us. How many cats and dogs have we all got?
Fuck.
That's a very, very good question.
That
is a lot.
'cause I don't know the answer, so I'm going to have to go and ask everybody. People
I don't actually know the answer.
know. Oh, because Gimli has got a load at the moment, and I thought that will make it.
Am I counting puppies? Am I counting puppies on top of
Oh
this?
yeah, puppies, dogs,
Hold up.
cats, kittens. And
Not
so
counting
okay.
crabs, are we?
Some of John's women.
what we're going to do is, if you can email us, this is open to emailing as well. So we are Bergkamp Wonderland at gmail.com. So that's pretty simple. Or send us a DM. Don't tweet us it. Send a DM to either the podcast or my account, or actually just the podcast or my account. Don't send it to any others because they'll just.
Can I
deny
tell
they
them
got
how
it.
many dogs I've got, so to give them a number to start from?
Oh, go on then.
All right. At this present time, I have 13 dogs.
Woof.
Whoa.
Dan boy. Dan dog.
Literally. Woof.
And I know Jeff has a fair few as well. So
He
don't
does.
keep up this. It will be a big number.
So the tiebreaker is going to be break it down into cats and dogs. So first of all, if we'll just go by a number in total of every ABW member, so that you'll say like 107. And then if anybody's tied it, then we'll go to the tiebreaker, which is then whoever's got it closest to number of cats, or should we have a different tiebreaker question? I'm only just thinking of this now. I was going to think about Tony Adams, but then you just go on Wikipedia and find
No,
it.
there's not going to be anyone that gets it right. I don't think so.
No.
You just got to pick the 4 closest to what the actual answer is.
What you should have done is given every pet a £1 million value, and then done the difference between the number of pets we've got and how much money we'll spend in the transfer window. I bet we've got more pets than they spend.
We're talking about pet spend.
Oh,
Thank you. I was very good.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
On that note,
Oh my god.
I think on that note is quite a fitting way to end it. We will definitely be putting that question, won't we, Danny?
what? Pet spend?
The give the
Quiz
competition.
question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the quiz question. Remember, only if you're in the UK, and DM either me at my account or the podcast account. Don't tweet us it, because if you tweet it, I'll ignore it, because then I'll have to troll through all of the tweets. And if we're not following you, so you can't DM it to us, then just say, "Oi, follow me," and we'll follow you, and then you can do it that way. But these books, you can go and buy one for 15 quid, and then go to one of the signings and get it done for nothing.
Why
So
are you
go.
putting people off of the competition prize?
So we don't have to pay to post them. You know what I'm like at posting shit? I'm still waiting for the stuff from 18 months ago.
Oh, Christ almighty. Right, we're going to end this now then. So all that's left then is to thank all of my wonderful panelists. Josh, David, Dom, Ellis, John, Carl, Chris, Steve, Danny, you have to be here. And I should also thank Jace as well.
You missed out Carl and Chris in the middle.
I didn't miss out Carl or Chris.
Me.
No, I said Carl and Chris.
Thank you to you as well, but you have to be here.
I also have to be here. And I also apologise for the puppy noises in the background. And the cake cameo.
We have to put Kate down on the credits now because she was on it.
Yeah, well, that's it. Her voice was on it. She has to be here. Literally. So, right then. We should thank all of our wonderful listeners. Thank you for another great season. We really do appreciate you tuning in and taking part and asking questions. And who burped?
Not me.
We've had farts and burps.
Are we allowed to give shout outs or not?
Oh,
No.
we'll be here.
I got shit to do.
Oh no, it's a very, very quick one. I'd just like to say a big shout out to Nazmul Huda, who said Chris is such a wanker. So hello, Nazmul. I hope you have a thoroughly shit day.
I want to give him a shout out too. Sounds like a top man.
He knows what he's on about.
And Dom, I love you more.
Character.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right, so that was a Bergkamp Wonderland podcast. Thank you so much for the season, and keep it Arsenal. Good night.
Get down, dog.
Get down, dog.